Yeah. How's everybody doing today? A little early stream. A little early. Sorry about not doing it yesterday. Had some interesting things take place yesterday. Got a shipment in. Yeah, we got a shipment in. Smart Rider patches. 500. Woo-wee. Those are not cheap. Thinking about putting them on the shop. I don't know. But those Smart Rider patches right there. These ones. Let's see. There we go. Those ones right there. Let's make me a little bit more crisp. There we go. Just got confirmation. Trauma kits are coming in. Oof, I got a lot of stuff I want to hang out and talk with you guys about. We're going to start the class at 11. Okay, we're going to hang out for 30 minutes while I get everything situated. Reese is here. Woo. What's up, Dash Cams? Warren. Iron C. Rainin, how you doing? Just sent you an email. Let me know if it's confusing. I threw it out there real quick. I think it'll be easier that way than just constantly updating. Just giving you something else to do. Make sure I got my headset correct. Check. What's up, Lucifer? You're not the real Lucifer, are you? Eric Patton got the rock form mount and the case. Basically, the case for free with the discount. Yeah. Yeah, read it after coffee, Rainy. Don't do it now. No. Whew. Trust me, got some caffeine. Took me a little bit. Find the video link you sent in Discord PM. Crash test moto. Take a look. I'm gonna tell you what. I need to get myself Larry's suit. I need to get that. I need to get that. Oh, snap. I don't know if that's copyrighted music, but dang, lots and lots of impact. So you see that frontal impact, genitalia impact. See that right there. See how you slide across the seat? There's that genitalia open book fracture that I'm talking about all the time. Then the hands and wrists. And then that right there on the head. That's why airbags will help out a lot. Neck compression. Spinal compression. And then, right now we're not getting hurt with the legs, but then ankle, knee, hip. You just drove that femur into your hip. Broken arms. And there it is. Yeah, bad stuff. Bad stuff. Terrible stuff. There's a whole bunch of different crash stuff. We might take a look at it, but there's a lot of... Yeah, they are testing the airbags. I'd have to check the music on it. Don't want it to be copyrighted. And get the stream taken down. Thanks for sending that in. Appreciate it. We're thinking of doing something a little different. Just a teeny tiny different when it comes to the user submitted videos. Isaac, you signed into class? Oh, yeah. I'm thinking instead of doing crash stuff, let me think. Work with me here, class. Work with me. Well, it's not class yet. We haven't started. Class will be starting at 11. So make sure you guys sign in now. Just in case you can't make class. Okay? Instead of sending in your crash and close calls, because that almost encourages. Because I'm thinking it's like, these big crash channels. are saying send in that stuff because that's what they want to see, right? Because that's what they're making. I kind of want to do send in your parking lot training class or skills. So like you make a video and you're like, hey, I'm doing tight turns, I'm having difficulty, and I go wide on these tight turns. And I've already kind of approached this subject before. When I did the original diagrams that I had, I put like where you should put the camera to post it on Discord. And we didn't get a whole bunch of people sending it in because it's the Discord, but I'm thinking maybe send it in and we could do a review live. We could do a review live on the stream. And it'll be like me doing like a quick coaching thing for you. I'll get the pen out and I'll scribble like, you know, what you should do. Hey, this is where your head should go. Try not to make it too much because, you know, you could go crazy. I had like bedhead with the beard. Hey, Larry, welcome. I'm thinking about doing that. What do you guys think? So send in your tight turns, U-turns, figure eights, your swerves, and I'll do like a quick thing on it. Hey, Travis, welcome to the gear giveaway. Woo! Yeah, I don't know if I would do grading. I would do like, here's a tip, and then I'll say you're doing good because everything is a learning experience. Especially if you send it in, you're actually really helping out. Because if I say, hey, get that head movement, somebody else will see it without having to send it in. They'd be like, wow, I could do that. But I don't want to be like, hey, and you got an F. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Man, after this new update on Stream Deck, none of the YouTube chats are working. I have to keep redoing it. There we go. How do you feel about the covert waxed riding shirt with CE2 armor as an alternative to mesh? Very hot days. Let's take a look at that. The covert waxed. Now, I know I like wax cotton. I do have wax cotton. Now, the problem with wax cotton, you're talking about not for instead of mesh for riding days. I have this, actually. I have this. The Scorpion Exo. I actually have this. It's not going to be good for hot days. This is I wear this in the wintertime. Is this the one you're talking about? I actually have this. This is my winter jacket. Because Tucson doesn't get too hot or too cold. There you go. It doesn't get too cold. I have this one. Progressive sent me one 2 years ago. So I got like a Progressive Moto Club one. But it's the same one. It's the Scorpion Exo jacket. I like it. But it's not going to be good for hot days. It's good for cold. I would say cold as in 60s, 50s, 60s degrees Fahrenheit. I like it though. I really do like it. I'm getting a little too fat though. Getting a little too fat for it. Yeah, I would go straight mesh if you're boiling. If anything over like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, get a mesh jacket. Yeah. Tried the Royal Enfield Classic 500. Man, the Kickstarter, it's a whole... Woo! I know it's a whole new world. Make sure my beard's looking good. Looking a little... Looking a little crazy. It's looking a little crazy. Picking up the Z800 next weekend, but I know it's being discontinued in favor of the Z900. What are your thoughts on parts availability for the 800? Yeah, it's looking pretty tame right now. Now that's the thing. The way you're thinking, Jake, is parts in the future. So it really depends on how long you're gonna keep that bike. So for me, I'd probably go to the 900, but I haven't looked into it. You've done more research. Good quality leather riding gear, custom cycle. I think they're good. I mean, good quality leather. It's going to be good for abrasion resistance and that thermal heat transfer. It's not going to allow a lot of that going through. It's going to be good for cold weather riding because it's basically wind resistant. But with all that in mind, you know what you're getting. So it's not good for like hot weather. Okay, it's not good for hot weather. Donnie, welcome to the gear giveaway. If you guys want to join the gear giveaway, go ahead and do so. Today we're going to be talking about a pretty bad crash. We're going to talk about a pretty bad crash. Let's go ahead and take a look at just the intro part. Moto Madness actually sent this to me on Instagram. They did a private message to me like, "Hey man, this look what happens. Look what happens." We're gonna be talking about this. He's unconscious right now.
Ambulance को phone कर.
So he's unconscious. That snoring is unconscious. He's got a traumatic brain injury, so concussion. We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about that video. Trauma kits are actually now available for pre-order. So if you want to grab yourself a trauma kit, they're available for pre-order. Yeah, that was not Agnol. Agnol's more like a fish, like like they do that. And it's only like 5 times a minute. You typically breathe 12 to 20. So like a big long pause, like once every 10 seconds, they're like like that. That's Agnol. That is just snoring respirations. Any advice on doing 615 miles in one day? Take a break every 100. Take a break every 100. And by a break, I mean like 15-20 minutes. That's a long day. It's not like a car. I mean, I'm gonna be doing something like that in the next couple weeks in a car. And you could pretty much get away with like 200-300 miles and then a break in a car. But on a motorcycle, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more work. Matthew Dollarhide, they are $180 plus shipping and handling. But you get a lot. You get a lot. And I curated every single piece. You're not getting any fluff. No band-aids at all. No band-aids at all. What's up, G-Ray? How you doing? Finally made it. Ashley, I don't know if Bluetooth causes brain tumors. You have to look into the type of radiation and radio waves and everything. There's AB, yeah. Alpha, beta, gamma. It's not gonna penetrate nothing. Driveway parking lot practice saves lives. What kind of driveway you got? Sounds like a big driveway. I need to trim my upper lip. It's getting a little too long. Yeah, not enough radio frequencies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bluetooth is like the lowest. And Wi-Fi is even worse than that. Starting to smell it? No, it's starting to hit like my bottom lip really. Like every time I close my mouth, it just feels weird. We're gonna start in about 15 minutes. The new makeout music? Yeah, it's the new makeout music. Woo! But we got the new stuff on the shop. We also have the Smart Rider ebook, and Kevin Starkey became a crew member. It's gonna pop up here pretty soon. It's gonna get on the wall and everything. I see you, Kevin. We do have a discount code for the Smart Rider ebook. Only 500 of those codes. I don't know how many people have used up already, but you're still plenty of time to get 15% off with the code Smart Rider when you grab the book. Hey, there it is. Where did I get the hats made? They're from Printful. Printful is the fulfillment. They do it all. You go through the shop, and I send in the order to Printful automatically. They take care of the fulfillment. They ship it out. Did you see a guy hit a bear on Mac's wrist? I don't watch Mac's wrist, Reese. He gets his panties in a twist whenever I comment on his stuff. I actually turned down. I was approached by the Max Wrist production company, the people doing the HBO documentary on what would she say? She said it was about illegal street racing, and they were getting, and it was about Max Wrist, but then they were getting like the sheriff's department and a bunch of other people to comment on the situation. They wanted me to comment on it, and I said no. I would have been in a Max Wrist or an HBO documentary, but I decided to say no because I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want to be a part of Max Wrist. So he hit a bear. Yeah, I got too much stuff to do. And being a part of, I mean, I'm not going to be inside of a documentary that says Max Wrist on the title. I'm not going to be a part of that. Because then you have to think about it. Like, what do they want? They want me to promote it too. You know, hey, I'm a part of. Hey, everybody, watch the documentary. I'm in it. I'm on timestamp. 45 minutes to 50 minutes. Go ahead and check it out. And then I direct everybody to go see what Max Wrist does. That's what I thought about it. I was like, could it be good for what I do? It's like, yeah, maybe. But then I'm like, nah. It's not about safe riding. It's about illegal street racing. So, Myra, Samara, Mura, Strufaldi, welcome to the crew. Woo! Yeah. So I even said that during the email exchange back and forth, and she wasn't very happy. Wasn't very happy that I said that I wanted to know more about the information and how it would be perceived, and I care about my reputation and my community. And she's like, well, then don't participate. I'm like, okay. Yeah, juiced. I didn't want to use that platform. You know what I mean? There's always opportunities. You don't have. The cool thing about doing what I'm doing now is I can say no to so much. It's so cool. Because we got so much going on. I got a whole team now. We're working on. Hey, Matthew Dollarhide, welcome to the gear giveaway. Which, like, this is another thing I'm talking about. We got a gear giveaway. We got trauma kits. We got a new book that just came out. We have a new website that's up, Motorcycle Training Concepts. We got e-courses being developed right now. The team is working on courses right now. It's a teachable.com, so like an online course. We got a whole Smart Rider basic training course being developed. We got a rescue course being developed. We actually got a team going now. So it's like I don't have time to sit in a room and talk about why Max Wrist shouldn't be doing what he's doing. I can do that right here. I'm sitting in my dorm room doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he can do what he wants. And I take that back. He could do what he wants to do. But then when your content is about people that you ride with getting hurt, it's like, what's the message? Could we see you riding more often on your bike? Steve, yeah. Yeah, Rain, it is pretty badass, huh? Pretty badass. We do riding on Motorcycle Training Concepts. I am taking the next 2 weeks. I'm taking a little sabbatical from everything. So this is actually the last live stream for about 2 weeks, everybody. I might pop in here and there. I might be doing some videos here and there. But for the most part, I'm going to take a little sabbatical. I'm going to go ahead and get some research and learning. I'm going to do some of my own classes and do my own things. So I'm going to be stepping away for a little bit so I can learn a little bit more. You know, that's the thing. I learn, you learn. So I have to learn something new so I can teach you guys something newer. You know what I mean? Is Israel, there's a background? Yeah, this is my bed. Yeah, this is the dorm room. This is the Chiefs room. There's my bathroom over there. Sorry if it stinks a little bit. Rough ET on the e-course. We have we set a deadline for end of September, Johnny. The sabbatical involves not being in Arizona. Sorry. This is not the private makeout area. Only Nikki's Adventures and I are allowed to be in here. You guys are actually in the hallway right now. Kind of just looking in. All right. So, yeah, we do have a deadline for end of September, but we'll see. We already got the outline pretty much done. We got to fulfill everything else. It's okay, Dutch. The bathroom kind of stinks a little bit. I took a little poo-poo in my pantalones. In Davis Monthan? You're close. You're close. Where, do you see it? Sorry about that, funky monkey. Whew. Never seen a dorm room that looked like this, Brandon? Oh, this is because it's the DDFM crew one. Chris! Speaking of which, I need to get new ones. I love Ultimate Warrior, but whew, with a $20 donation, Johnny will be reading the ebook. Yeah, we got the ebook, everybody. We got the new ebook. Make sure you get that 15% off. But that's the basic training ebook. We got the course on the book. So it's going to have video, it's going to have quizzes, it's going to have tests. We're working on that. So it's like, why am I going to do a documentary? You know? That's not about me. That's not about smart riders, you know, maybe in the future. But this year has been about building a team because I can't do it all by myself anymore. Last year was about seeing what we could do. So we got this channel, DanDanTheFireman, working good. Woo! Having some fun. We built the firehouse. We're getting new things. We got the classroom situated, which, by the way, I want you guys to sign into class. We have a new sign-in sheet in class. We're going to get the new dorm set up. We have the new office already set up. We're going to get the new garage set up. We're going to get the new crew lounge set up. We're getting new things, all because you guys are members. It's only $2 a month to become a rookie. Warren Traveler, how you doing? Alea, love the channel, keeping us educated and safe. My daughter and I love your videos. Hey, tell your daughter to ride smart. I don't know how old she is. Let's just say a little kid, but ride smart on a bicycle. You could easily do that on a bicycle too. That's what I teach my kids. Glenn Fuqua. Welcome to the crew. Nice mustache. Yeah, nice mustache. I need to shave my head. Getting a little bit of hair. A little bit of hair. Just not right here. Ryan, MSF Basic tomorrow. Been following the channel. Feeling confident. Feel good. Have a good night's rest. You're going to do great tomorrow. Clean pantaloons. Yeah, I got my shorts. My shorts. Thought about getting the gold wing out, but not in this heat. Oh, no. Oof. Some poutine. Love it. What's up from Colombia? How you doing? 241 people in class right now, but only 93 people liking it. Remember, we get started around 200 likes, so you got to sign into class right now. Come on now. She is 8, and she has her @GAT. She's an advocate for safety all around. Love gearing up before we head on a bike. Love it. Make that a habit. Create a habit. She's going to be riding smart. So now that she's got the A portion acquired and utilizing personal protective equipment, right? Let's go ahead and maintain those fundamental skills. Let's go ahead and get that situation awareness. So if we're in the neighborhood, you know, look both ways before you're crossing the street, you know. Watch out for anybody backing out of their driveways, right? When you're riding next to the sidewalk or on the sidewalk, I don't know. Get yourself a good space cushion, plan your ride. Maybe you find a little basketball court, do some figure eights. or just do it in the driveway, you know? That's what I love. I love hearing it. That's when you start as a young kid. Start as a young kid. Kid's bike, of course. Yeah. How to get a 9-year-old start riding a bike. Kid's bike, of course. See that right there? That's what I want to start learning. That's what I'm going to be researching a little bit in these next 2 weeks. I'm thinking of bicycle training concepts, doing some smart rider stuff for kids. I think it'll be pretty cool. I would have to get somebody that's an expert in bicycle stuff, though. You know, it's another thing to learn a whole new skill, right? Whew. 176 people. What happened? Did it like drop down? I think it was a little snafu. Gear, brakes, friction zones. Ken, fellow Beardo, how you doing? How many likes to start? Anders, if we can get 200 likes, we got to sign in, everybody. You won't get credit for today's class if you don't sign in. If we can get 200 likes, I think we'll definitely get started. We're about to head to class in about 5 minutes. Okay, so everybody, go ahead and start heading to class. Crew members, go to the crew lounge. I'll go ahead and swing by the crew lounge, grab you guys right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and get people to come in. I'll send all just normal people, like subscribers. You know, if you hit that subscribe button, that'd be great. But nobody with a green name, nobody with a mustache or beard. They're gonna go to the classroom. Rookies, go ahead and help them. Everyone else that's a member, go to the crew lounge. Okay. Been working on my riding skills. The first bike, highway to the danger. Woo! BMW F750 GS. Been enjoying riding. Been helping with my anxiety. Hey, that helps out a lot because you zone in. Anxiety. The whole thing about anxiety is you're thinking of the future that you have no control over. So you're trying to figure out all these different scenarios. And I think that's why I'm pretty good at situational awareness. But when you're riding, you zone into one thing only, and that's riding. So you don't even think about future stuff. In the long term, you only think about 5-6 seconds ahead instead of like a week or two. So that helps out a lot. So when you think about that, let's think about that a little bit. When you're able to zone in and meditate, basically, your anxiety goes away. So what other things can you do off motorcycle that will allow you to zone in and meditate, basically, throughout the day? So breathing exercises definitely help. One thing that helps me is a morning walk and an afternoon walk. I look forward to those just as much as riding. And that I could do any day, every day. I need to get some nasal spray real quick. Oh, the anxiety thing reminded me. I gotta take my my meds for today. Do not recommend beers for anxiety. Helps in the short term. Road King with a 131 is your dream bike. Whew. Guys, once again, we do have pre-orders for the rescue kits. I just got notified that they will be in before July, so shipping will actually be a little bit faster than what is on the pre-order, but we'll see how everything goes. We definitely know that that's when it will be shipping out, is in July. Just got your license Monday and gotta say thanks for so much for the videos and tips. They helped me a ton, Magic Midget. I like reading fast. Welcome. I'm glad. Got your license on Monday. Take it easy. Alcohol's the worst for anxiety. Yeah, on the bike too. It's a no buenos. Quick question: if I'm feeling dizzy cruising, is it better to eat something sweet or drink something sweet? Kurt, also think about dehydration. Dehydration can play a huge part in that. When you're talking about eating something or drinking something sweet, I'm thinking more of like diabetic. If you're diabetic, when you drink something sweet like an orange juice, that sucralose turns into glucose quicker. But if we're having to do that because you're dizzy, then your blood sugar's a little low. A little low. More than likely, it's going to be dehydration that's getting you. Exactly, Reese. Same thing here. Corbin. Woo! 150 people signed in. Let's see if we can get 200. Let's see if we can get 200 people signed in. We got 1 minute. Oh, I got to send everybody. Everybody that is... Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Everybody that is a member, make sure you make your way to the crew lounge. Everybody that's not a member, make your way to the classroom. I gotta go grab people from the crew lounge. All right, I'm gonna show you what's in the kit real quick. Let's get going. Crew members, you guys playing pool and everything, having some fun out here in the video game area. We're gonna get started real quick. Today has a special video. Moto Madness sent this to me on Instagram, a little private message saying this is what you should not do, and I just said thank you so much for sending it my way. But we're gonna be going over a terrible motorcycle crash, I believe in India. KTM RC accident, car tried to run, a little hit and run. We're gonna be talking about why this is important. We're gonna talk about what went wrong. There's a lot that went wrong, but remember, it's all about education. Once we learn the training, once we learn the education, that's what we're doing. We're learning. Okay, so we can't make fun of, we can't say anything, hey, why'd they do this? It's because improper education, just didn't know. Okay, different cultures, different everything. But here, we're on this channel learning, and we know what we need in this kit. We also know what we need to do when it comes to rescuing another rider. Remember to remain calm, ensure your own safety, stop any bleeding, and quickly assess the severity of the incident. And this is a pretty severe incident. So make sure you guys sign in, grab everyone in the front lobby. If anybody's making their way to my dorm, tell them, hey, we're in class now. Come on now. Let's go to class. All right? Let's go ahead and do it. Yeah. Whew. We got this one right here. But make sure you guys sign in. Okay? Make sure you guys sign in. We got the sign-in sheet way over there. We got the sign-in sheet way over there. Make sure you guys are signing in, okay? We're going to get started real soon. Remember, 200 people signed in is when we get started. You're still in the door. Brian, somebody get Brian. Wait, you're over there. The door's over there. Somebody get Brian. Yeah, rookies, can you go? Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Whew. I don't know where my hand went. 82 Tony. 82 Tony. Hey, everyone, make sure you check your smoke alarms. And if you don't, look at getting a fire extinguisher in the kitchen. We're dealing with the after effects of a kitchen fire from Memorial Day, but we're all okay. Hey, hope you're doing okay. Hopefully no smoke inhalation. Hopefully no smoke inhalation. I'll give a little tip, though. Don't leave if most of the fires happen in a kitchen. So don't leave the extinguisher in the kitchen. Leave it in a very close adjacent room, because if the kitchen's on fire and it's next to the the fire extinguisher, you won't be able to get to it because of the heat. So if you're able to get to the adjacent room and then bring it into the kitchen, best bet. But yeah, definitely check your smoke alarms. One thing that we always taught the public when we were working is every Christmas, change out the battery. Every Christmas. Buy your smoke alarms a new battery for Christmas and then change them out. Usually 9 volts. Usually 9 volts. 175 people signed into class today. Make sure you guys sign in. Sign-in sheet's way over there. Go ahead and get it. Sign-in sheet's right there. Sign in. And if you guys notice, there's the names on them. You guys notice the names on them? Notice the names on them. Maybe. I don't know. They look pretty big there. Yeah, I like to replace them every year just because, you know, like you replace one because the beep's going off, and then like a couple weeks later the other one beep's going off, and a couple weeks later the other one. And you're constantly just doing that. Just replace them all at once. Replace them again every year. Every year. Every year. Every year. A TikToker, Fresh 10, died in an accident? Fresh 10. I don't follow TikTok. Hey, Johnny Shanks 562, welcome to the crew. Single vehicle crash. Ontario. That's sad to see. Sad to see. Video's blurry. Is it blurry? Let me go ahead and double check. We the people. Might have to change your video settings. We're gonna be talking about this video. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that either.
Ambulance को phone कर.
He is unconscious right there. He is unconscious. We're gonna be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about quite a bit. We're gonna be talking about how to rescue another rider. You know, after a moto crash, rescue a rider. You know, remain calm, ensure your own safety, stop the bleeding, and quickly assess the severity of the incident. Whew. Oh, you're gonna see a lot more wrong. You're gonna see a lot wrong with this. You're gonna see a lot wrong. Yeah, it's a weird noise. That right there is going to be your brainstem trying to breathe for you. It's not agonal respirations. It is labored breathing, snoring respirations. All that means is that all his muscles are pretty much relaxed, so that allows his tongue to get in the way and allows an obstruction of the airway. That's all it is. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about this, everybody. And we're gonna be talking about why it's bad and why he got very lucky with this whole situation. He does walk around at the end. This is him at the end. So he's doing better. He's doing better. Okay. But we're gonna be talking about that. Rescue kits are on pre-order right now. Got some more rescue kits. If you guys get a rescue kit or anything from the shop, like the new ebook, I will be doing a quick shout out to you live. I'm getting my notifications on right here. $191 people signed in. Make sure you guys, hey, Randy. Gear should be mandated like a seatbelt. I had full gear on and still broke 8 bones, damaged 3 organs, tore several ligaments, a T-bone. Keep it up, sir. Hey, thank you so much. I eat these videos like Doritos, Dan. Great content. You eat the videos. Is the book in iBooks? No. You can. It's a downloadable PDF. Once you get it from the store, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Any discount for the rescue kit? No, not right now, Rat. Found a bot. Where? Heartthrob, how you doing? $196 people signed in. We're almost there. Let me go ahead and turn off the music. We're about to get started. About to get started. About to get started. Let me get the pen out. All right. Randy eats the vids. Yeah, the first stage. You remember that? Yeah, it recovered. It recovered. Orlando, Florida. 201. Guys, we got to get started. We got to get started. We got to get started. One sec. We got what's going on here? There we go. Okay. go over what's in the trauma kit first? We will. We will. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's do that. All right, everybody. What we're going to be doing today is going over this video right here. Now, this video is going to involve somebody getting into a motorcycle accident. We're going to skip around a few things, but we're going to talk about what to do and what not to do, why this is something that you need to be focused on, and why you need to grab yourself a trauma kit right here. This is the Smart Rider Basic Trauma Kit. Woo! It's the rescue kit. It's got everything in here. We'll be talking about that during this video. Let's go ahead and start watching and see what happened. So first, you don't want to take the helmet off like that. He's unconscious.
Ambulance को phone कर.
All right. So this is him riding 8:30. Now there's a little bit more involved. They're riding around in the mountains, having some fun. It was a beautiful day until this happens. So we're gonna go ahead and see what happened here. So this is the moment things happen. Okay, so it looks like they're in the front. Things are happening in the back. I want you from here to pay attention and think about what it is you're doing. Because remember, rescue another rider, Jesus, is remain calm, ensure your own safety. So I want you to have that in your mind right now when you first witness something. And then with that knowledge, come from that perspective. All right, so let's watch. So everyone's concerned. Everyone's concerned. Nobody knows what to do yet. Remember to remain calm and ensure your own safety. So now we're going to meet up with the person that was involved in the accident. And this is where you have your rescue kit. Okay, so you have gloves, you have everything. Do your assessment. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about everything. We're going to watch first. Okay, he's unconscious for those of you that are wondering. He's completely unconscious. Those are snoring respirations. The bleeding from the nose could just be from the normal impact. Okay, so you see the knee. Okay, so look at all the different areas of impact. We're going to talk about this part too, that we shouldn't do this. So look at all the different areas of impact. Start thinking, where am I going to start doing my treatment? Is there any external bleeding that I can control? Is he breathing? Is there anything I have to do or can do right now that will help him? And how can we do this, right? How can we do this? Deliver him to the hospital as quick as we can, but with spinal precautions. C-spine precautions. Okay, how do we do that? Because I know in different areas, in different countries, different everything, not everyone has 911. Looks like they're going to take him to the hospital, or they're kidnapping him. Just kidding, they're going to the hospital. So there's more to this video, but just take a quick look at the area that happened. Take a quick look at the area that happened. Possible highway speeds, right? That's the direction of traffic. Okay. You guys see the skid mark? You guys see the skid mark right before the crash? So possible locking up the brakes, possible braking and hitting something. He had to hit something, so a vehicle, he hit a vehicle. Okay, so we're thinking mechanism of injury right now. So when you see that, think of front end damage to the body. We don't know what he hit because I don't see a vehicle with damage. Okay, real quick, thank God there were no major injuries to him. After 3 hours, we get back to the bike, okay? So thankfully, no major injuries, because the major injuries could have been bad, especially with those spinal precautions they were doing. Okay, so look at the front end damage. So he impacted something to the front, completely just demolished the front end.
So भाई ये है वो बाइक जो कि अभी कुछ आवर्स पहले एक्सीडेंट हुई थी और ये हमारा राइडर है।
And there he is. He looks like he's groggy.
बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं लगी, उस टाइम पे लग रहा था क्रिटिकल कंडीशन है, बट अभी ठीक है। तो देवांश बता उस टाइम पे कैसे हुआ था, क्या हुआ अचानक से?
हुआ ऐसा था कि हम बाइक पे जा रहे थे और जो नया फ्लाईओवर बना उस वाले टर्न पर उन्होंने जो अपनी कार थी अचानक से मोड़ दी थी। बाइक होगी 30-40 की स्पीड में, जिस वजह से कंट्रोल हुई नहीं और वो जाके सीधा कार में लग गई, वो भी उन्होंने रॉन्ग साइड मोड़ी थी।
और
If anybody wants to translate that for me, that'd be great.
उसके बाद वो भागने लगे थे, हमने उसे आगे जाके रोका, तो उसके बाद तो आपने वीडियो देख ही लिया गया। बस ये है कि हाँ उस टाइम पे भाई की हालत बहुत ख़राब थी, बट अभी ठीक है, तो कोई ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं है। और बाइक तो खैर रिपेयर हो ही जाएगी, मेन तो हमारा राइडर था, राइडर ठीक है तो सब ठीक है।
So I think that bleeding from the nose area was that scratch right here on his face. I don't think it was bleeding out of the nose. I think it was bleeding from a scratch. So we're going to talk about this one, everybody. We're going to talk about what happened. So we'll get to the actual accident because that's where things started happening. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this part right here. So we're riding with our buddy. Let's take a look at everything that's happening. Okay. So we have no gear other than a helmet. And let's see what kind of riding we're doing. Nice, simple, easy riding. Just relaxing, not going fast. So this is going to be something that's typical of just a normal accident. Okay, it's not something that's going to be good. It's not something that, you know, as a smart rider, we're supposed to be situationally aware. We're supposed to be paying attention. We're supposed to be doing all these things, fundamental skills, everything. These people aren't speeding, okay? And look how bad it was, okay? So we're going to get to the actual incident. Now, I don't think, I want to say, a car hit our friend and tried to run, but later they came to a stop. So I don't know if it was this van that the rider hit. I'm not too sure. There is some damage right there. It could have been them. It could have been them, but I don't think so. There's no rear end damage. But I don't know the whole situation. They said a car. Could have been that white vehicle right there. Could have been that white vehicle, and then they kind of take off. Let's see if we can get some. Yeah, you can't see much here. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Okay, when we're getting up to somebody, this is the part where we do have to remain calm. In your area, this is where you start to direct people to call 911. Because if you have the medical training from accident scene management or any of the stuff that we're talking about right now, you're going to be the one with the most training. You're going to be the most skilled person to be able to handle the patient. A lot of people can handle calling 911. A lot of people can handle getting resources to the scene. But the thing is, you have to remain calm yourself so you can actually do your job. But if you direct somebody and say, hey, you call 911, that means they're going to do it. But if you just say, hey, somebody call 911, everyone else is going to look around at each other and be like, hey, you call 911? You're going to call 911? Someone's going to call 911, and nobody calls 911. So make sure you direct somebody. Take charge of this incident, especially if it's your buddy. You know, who cares? Take charge of the incident. Okay, so we're going to get up to here. We're remaining calm. We're going to ensure our own safety. Now, we're in the roadway. Lots of people die by getting hit by a vehicle because the vehicle is paying attention to that, not looking at you, boom, hits you. So you make sure you ensure your own safety. So right now, oncoming traffic is coming this way towards our face. So keep an eye out. So one thing that you can do is if this is your buddy right here, you tell him to go down this way, up the road, at least 100 feet, and then see if he can not block, but at least get off to the side up there and tell people to slow it down. Because they'll see him, uncommon thing in a common situation, right? Well, that's weird. Somebody's doing this, saying slow down. It's in the kind of the roadway, weird. So they're going to go around him. You're like, oh, that's why. They're going to slow down 100 feet prior before having to slow down before the actual incident where you're working, okay? So ensuring your own safety is very important. If you get hurt, you're not going to be able to help anybody. So that's very important, very important. I'm going to try not to look at the chat right now so I can focus on this. This is a live stream, by the way, if you're watching this later. So right here, first thing that this person wants to do is take the helmet off. You do not do that. There's only one reason why you do that. They have to not be breathing and be wearing a full face. You hear the snoring respirations. That means the airway, there's some air getting in. That means he's breathing. That means he has circulation because you can't breathe if your heart's not working. So he has that going for him right there. Now, with snoring respirations, there's things you can do, put him in a better position so that the tongue isn't blocking everything. We're not going to talk too much about that because then you start getting into OPAs, MPAs, and everything. The main thing here is that they're breathing. You don't want to mess around too much with that because the biggest concern here is because of the accident itself. Let's go back just a little bit, is that you're going to have possible spinal issues. So if you take the helmet off, you can possibly have a spinal issue. If he's not breathing and he has a full face, take it off because you have to breathe for them at that point. Inside the rescue kit that we have here on motorcycletrainingconcepts.com, inside of it, we do have a little CPR barrier. So it's nice and tiny. It's just a plastic barrier so you don't get any fluids in there. Sometimes they throw up when you're giving rescue breaths. So this will prevent you getting throw up in your mouth. But that's going to be another training in of itself. We have tourniquets. We have 4x4s, 5x9s, emergency blankets. We got 2 gloves for you, trauma shears. We have a rescue card on there. It's going to be the card that is right here in the class. Rescue another rider. It's going to be there. It's going to fit inside your wallet, but we're going to deliver it with you. We got everything you need and everything we're going to be talking about here, okay? So the only time you take the helmet out is for that. Now, just do a quick look while you're walking up. There's going to be a lot of information here. Sorry, you're going to be bouncing around. A lot of information. Look at the skid mark up ahead, okay? So the vehicle, that's the travel they're going. Skid mark, sliding into another vehicle, hitting the vehicle. So head injuries, spinal injuries, leg injuries, hip injuries, open book fracture, sliding across the tank, hitting the gas tank, hitting the handlebars, pelvic injuries, chest injuries, arm, everything. So we got a lot of injuries. So my biggest concern is going to be breathing and circulation. Okay, spinal injuries, yes, we're going to always be safe when it comes to that. So we're not going to do any crazy movements. Now, we saw that them picking up and everything. There's a way to do it and a safe way to do it. That wasn't it. So right here, the main thing I'm going to be worried about is any type of external bleeding that is insanguination. He's going to bleed out. So that's my biggest concern. But I don't see anything. Okay, now luckily he doesn't have it, and it's pretty easy to expose him because you see how his arms are exposed. He doesn't have a jacket, no pants, or nothing. So it's pretty easy to see if there's any major bleeds coming out of his arms, right? But if he has a jacket, or if he has long sleeves, or he has something, that's why we have trauma shears with the rescue kit. The trauma shears are going to cut off the clothes. You got to expose the patient. You got to expose the rider, because if you don't, the clothes can hide a lot of external bleeding. So you cut this off and you check. You see if there's any gouges or lacerations or punctures and major bleeds. And if you have to, you're going to use the tourniquet that's involved here. Now, I'm trying to go through this real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So we have little blue rescue trainers. Let's say he's bleeding out. Say he's bleeding out like right here. It just starts shooting out. Well, what you got to do is you got to stop that bleed. And I'm going to explain to you what it is I'm doing. And you're going to write it with the Sharpie that we have, and then hopefully the blood's going to stop spurting out. So what we did here is we stopped the arterial bleed if he's bleeding out. Now, what I did with this is I'm going to be explaining these on how to do this on Motorcycle Training Concepts YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. There's going to be a lot of medical training on there. We're going to be teaching you everything in July, what to do with the rescue kit. But you can grab the rescue kit right now on motorcycletrainingconcepts.com. But part of that is you don't want somebody to bleed out. That's a preventable thing that kills a lot of people. It's a preventable thing that kills a lot of people. So I'm trying to go through it quick, okay? Trying to go through it quick because there's so much information when it comes to this, and there's so much going on in your head, you're not going to remember everything. And that's why you need to get the training. accidentscene.org, there's a link in the description for the online class. You get $5 off using the code that's in there, and you're going to learn a ton of this. You need more than just one video. So make sure you subscribe here, get the training, get the kit, keep watching. There's so much more that you need to know, and I can't get it all in one video. I'm just trying to show you why it's important. So right here, the biggest concern is a neck injury doing that. Now, he did it gently, but there is definitely a way to do it. You'll learn it in accident scene management. You hear that right there? That right there is the snoring respirations. Now, the reason why he's snoring, why would somebody be sleeping right now? It's because he has a concussion. A concussion is a traumatic brain injury. Okay, so you can have a skull fracture. You can have a ton of different things. You have a bullet through the head, and that's a traumatic brain injury. A concussion is a traumatic brain injury. A concussion is on the lower end. Having your brain outside your skull is on the high end. But it's still a traumatic brain injury. So that is not something we should be playing around with. Now, he probably would be dead if he didn't have that helmet, even though that helmet looked kind of janky, but The thing is, it probably saved his life. This right here is traumatic brain injury. That right there tells me that when we do the quick, right here, quickly assess the severity on the rescue card, when you flip the card over, you can kind of see it on right there. There's two sides of the card. When you get the trauma kit, the rescue kit, you're going to get one. We also have those cards on the shop too. Fits in your wallet. We quickly assess the severity. We talk about traumatic brain injuries, spinal injuries, shock symptoms. And this right here, snoring respirations, that right there is indicative of a traumatic brain injury. So when you see this, you see somebody in a crash, you see them on the ground, you see them snoring, you see them not moving, that right there tells you how severe it is. And on that card, it says if they are doing anything like this, call 911, get them to the hospital right away. That's what it means. So you remain calm. You start calling 911 anyways, because you can always cancel them when they show up on scene. Ensure your own safety. You don't want to be a part of the accident. Stop any major bleeds. We just talked about the tourniquet. Quickly assess the severity. It's extremely severe. So if you see anybody doing this, your buddy or anything after a crash, you get to them hospital. You get them to the hospital. And the easiest and the best way to do that is to call 911, because you don't want to be messing around with their spinal cord. He's unconscious. He's unconscious. Now, he has possible spine injury, so we're moving him around, doing some crazy stuff. Let's not do that. My other concern that nobody really thinks about is how hot is this asphalt? Okay? Bare skin on the asphalt. You can get second, third degree burns really quickly. So that's why we have the emergency blanket inside the kit. You can get it underneath him. Okay? Get some clothes, get his jacket underneath him, something. Moving him like that. Now, that right there might scare some people, the blood coming out of the nose, but remember, where is it coming out of? Is it coming out of the nostril on the side? So he probably got some rocks, probably got some metal, cut himself real quick. You got to be watching out for these distracting injuries. Okay, if you get some blood everywhere, it's like, don't worry too much about the blood. Worry about a lot of blood. Worry about the most severe things. Keep the person alive until EMS shows up. Now, their concern is, let's get him to the hospital, and that's a good concern. That's a real concern. Now, picking him up like this, lifting him up, that's when your spine is just getting compressed, moved around. We don't know if there are any spinal processes that are broken off. We don't know if there's any damage to the spinal cord. Now we're just kind of crunching things. Now we're getting things severed. No good. No good. So you got to be watching out. Now, take a quick look, though. One cool thing about gear and clothes is that those are the things that are going to get damaged first. So when you see that there's damage to the right knee, you see the shoe falling off, you see the damage to the pants, so like, where is the damage? The knees, the hips. That right there is where you have protective gear. That's where you have the impact absorption material, CE rated armor, right? So that's why you need to grab yourself some gear. We have a link in the description for some beginner gear from Revzilla, but this right there is why you need to wear gear. Now, you're going to see later on in the video where he actually got hurt a little bit, and you see a little bit of damage to his knee, but thankfully it's not an amputation. Thankfully, it's not massive damage. He got lucky. Most of the trauma happened to the head. So once again, have full gear to mitigate as much as you can, okay? So picking him up, no bueno. Let's not do that. Now, how do you do it effectively? Well, first of all, should you do it? No. Because remember, we're trying to ensure our own safety. That's the only reason why we move a patient, is an emergency move or an urgent move. If the bike was on fire and he was underneath it, yeah, move him. If there's traffic hauling ass back and forth and they're trying to dodge you, yeah, get him out of the roadway. But there's no traffic. So right now we're at 1:30. Let's see what the traffic looks like. So right here, we're in the roadway. Yes, we're in the roadway. That is very dangerous. Now, what we need to do is possibly block this lane on the other side. So if we have a vehicle or a bunch of motorcycle riders, let's get some motorcycles on the other side, block that lane, and have people say, slow it down, move over, move over, move over, move over. That way this lane is open so we can do our work, and then when an ambulance comes in, they can park right next to us. So that only reason why we move a patient is if there's an emergency. If there is going to be a vehicle running them over, if there's going to be somebody that is, the bike's on fire, or they're in a water and they're drowning, so you got to move them out. That's the only time you move them, is if it's going to be a life-threatening issue. So just to move them, not a good thing. Now, over here in this country, maybe that's just the culture, and that's just what happens. You know, the ambulance takes forever. We got to get them going, and that's all you have. So how do you move a patient in this situation, or if it's an emergency? You don't move them legs first. Why do babies typically, the way things are designed, go head first? Because it's kind of in line, shoulders and everything. When you go legs first, you catch things, you start moving things, you start grabbing things, and it starts going against the body, okay? So you want to go head first, and you want to drag along the spine. You don't want to be dragging this way. You want to keep everything as stable as possible. That's why you have the blanket. That's why you have, jackets. Make sure you're actually moving them in spine. Now, if we're moving them off the side of the road just so we can get them to the ambulance, have the ambulance come to us. That's the biggest thing. Look at the damage to the leg. Very lucky he doesn't have a spine injury. It's so easy to have spine injuries, guys. So right there, moving and touching the patient on the chest. Now that right there, what that looks like, it's like, oh, he's trying to wake him up. But that's actually sort of what we do when it comes to trying to wake somebody up through pain. So they're not alert, so he's not talking. He's not responding to us verbally. And so we do some type of painful stimulus. And if that doesn't work, then he's unresponsive. So AVPU, alert, verbal, painful, unresponsive. This one is more like a sternal rub. You use your knuckles. Go right now, everybody. You're not going to like me right now. Right now, on your chest, right here, on the sternum, get your knuckles. Go right on it. Push hard. And then rub back and forth. Push hard, rub back and forth. You're not going to like me right now. That is called a sternal rub. Don't do that to a trauma patient. Don't do that. You don't know if he has chest trauma, and you're pushing there, and now you're causing some more fractures, more issues to the chest. He's obviously unconscious. We're not here trying to determine level of responsiveness at this situation. We're more concerned about life-threatening issues, okay? So right here, what we need to do is just keep him there, make sure he's not bleeding out, make sure he's breathing, get 911 on scene, cover him up so that there's no sun on him. Maybe you just block the sun, and then kind of wait. We support the body to stay alive, and that's all we do. So what do we have inside the trauma kit that we have here that will help you? Your sternum just loudly clicked. Yeah, see? Doesn't feel good. What do we do? What can we do to keep somebody alive? First and foremost, if they stop breathing, take a rescue breathing class. So a CPR class will help you out there. American Heart, Red Cross, they have CPR classes. That's going to teach you how to do some rescue breathing, okay? So inside the kit, we have a one-way valve for rescue breathing. Boom, right there. Okay, so let's say they're bleeding out of the arm. I showed you how to do that real quick, and we're going to talk more about that on Motorcycle Training Concepts. With the tourniquets, in our kit, we apply, or not apply, we have 2 tourniquets. We have 4 limbs. In a motorcycle crash, one's if both arms are bleeding. One's if one arm is bleeding, but it's bleeding so much you have to use 2 tourniquets. One's if both legs are bleeding, you need 2 tourniquets. That's why we include 2 tourniquets. Now, our new kits have orange tourniquets. I think orange is a good color. You see how you can see the difference between the two? So orange, we're making the new kits with orange. We have 4x4s right here. So these are, I know I have one. There we go. I have a bunch here on the cart, right on the cart on the desk. These are just cotton pads. It's going to absorb some of the blood. And we have 5x9s. So 5x9s are abdominal absorbent pads, and they look like this. Okay, so they're like very absorbent pads. So these are good for packing and good for putting a lot of pressure on the wound. We have we got 4 roll gauze. Now these are great for packing a wound. Okay, so you're going to put some in the wound. We talk a little bit more about that. And then it's good for wrapping the bandages. Got an emergency blanket. We got a medium glove and an XL glove. We got a Sharpie so that you can write down the time of the tourniquet when it was applied. It went flying. We also have, hey, I'm gonna push the button. We also have 2 triangular bandages. So what this is going to be for that sling and swath, so you can cover or hold somebody's arm up if they have a shoulder injury. Very, very good for them so that it's not so painful. We got a whistle inside of it, so just in case you fell down a mountain or you need to get somebody's attention, you got a whistle. And it's in a rip-away bag. So you're out riding, and each one comes with a rescue card. So this allows you to be riding. You get off the bag or get off the bike, and you're like, oh crap, something happened. You're able to grab it, and it opens right up. So we designed this. We put everything in here. We made sure these are the things that are needed for bleeding control, that these are the things that will help you keep somebody alive until EMS shows up. But you do need the training. Okay, accidentscene.org in the description, and we're going to have our own training on motorcycletrainingconcepts.com by the end of September. That's their deadline. That's the goal that we got. But that's why we need to do this, everybody. We need to be paying attention, because this right here is a reality of what could happen. It's a no bueno situation. It could be you. This could be you in the crash. Are your friends in the group that you're in, can they save you? So that's the thing. So get your buddies, get your friends, get your riding group to go take a class with accidentscene.org. Take the online class. We have a link in the description with a discount code, okay? So let's make sure that we're saving each other. Let's make sure we're rescuing other riders. Let's be smart riders. And if you need a trauma kit, we do have a rescue kit on motorcycletrainingconcepts.com. All right? It's tough. It's tough to see. It's tough to see. It's a no bueno. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the normal motorcycle crashes and close calls. But I just want to hear what you guys have to think and say. What do you guys think? Class, what do you guys think when it comes to something like this? So Janae, does the trauma kit have smelling salts? No, we don't want to wake somebody up. We don't want to have somebody laying there and you can do the smelling salts and they go like, oh, and you got spinal injuries and everything. Okay. Without medical training, you might not be protected using quick clot. So what you got to do with the medical training, and we talk about this in the Smart Rider ebook, is that there are Good Samaritan laws. Now, the only thing with Good Samaritan laws is that you purposely don't try something that you don't know what you're doing. So if you do an emergency tracheotomy and you have no clue, but you saw it online or you saw it on a movie and you're cutting into people and trying to do stuff, you can get in trouble for that. But if what you're trying to do is the best CPR you're possibly able to do because you think you know what you're supposed to do, and let's say you're trying to stop somebody from bleeding by holding pressure or even doing a tourniquet or putting some bandage on somebody bleeding, you're not going to get in trouble for that. You're going to get in trouble for doing stuff that is, you know, for a fact you don't know how to do. So the thing is with that, with the Good Samaritan laws, is you do what you feel you're comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable putting a tourniquet on, even though you have a tourniquet, don't use it then. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it then. That is the biggest thing when it comes to the Good Samaritan law. So if you know that this quick clot that you have is able to stop the bleeding and this person's bleeding out and you're putting the bandage on, you're putting it in there and you're doing your best, and you're like, I learned this, I saw this, and this is what it says on the package, and you're not going to get in trouble for that. Not with the Good Samaritan laws. You don't need to have medical training. If you're an EMT, you have a duty to act. As a bystander, you don't have a duty to act. With a bystander assistance training, you don't have to stop. You don't. As an EMS professional like I am, if I witness a crash, I have a duty to act. I have to stop. But I want to stop. So that's just the way it is. If we have to remove the helmet because the patient isn't breathing, how can we do that the safest way? There's a 1-person and a 2-person method. And the way you do it is let's say the person's laying down like this. The rest of the body is that way, right? And this is what I'm going to have on Motorcycle Training Concepts, the website. Or not the website, the YouTube channel. So make sure you guys get it. So I'm behind the patient, right? So their head's right here. What you do, I'm going to show you what this looks like from this perspective, is that when you take the straps off, you're going to pull it to the side as best you can. Now, this is the one-person method, right? One-person method. You're going to slowly take it off, and once you get past that sticking point, you're going to get underneath with the hand and try to take it off, and then gently lower the head. With a two-person method, it's the same process, but you're holding it and you're pulling it out while the other person is holding the neck while it's coming off. So here's the helmet, and the person's going to get in with the hand, and it's going to, and then you remove it and you do that. The only time you take a helmet off is if they're not breathing and they have a full face. If they're not breathing and have a 3/4 helmet, don't take it off. You can still breathe for them. Yeah, the emergency pull tabs, that's what I really like about these. So if they have these things right here, I'll just do it, right? So if they have these red tabs, that's an emergency pull tab. So what happens, instead of having to open this up like this, they're laying down, it rips off. It rips off. You see the opening now? So now it's easy to take off. So these things make it easier to take off. Use them. Use them. Now I got to put this back together. Thanks. Some states do have duty to act laws only if you're trained. Only if you're trained. They don't require citizens with no training to have a duty to act. All right, so everyone has an opinion on the Good Samaritan laws and everything. I'm telling you, as an 11-year firefighter, and as somebody that is an accident scene management instructor, you need to check your own local laws. But if you're just starting to say things that you think, let's not do that. This is, if you guys think, okay, get the training. Get the training. All right? Get the training. All right, here we go. We're just going to move into this. State to state. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get into this one. Here we go. We're riding around, having a good time with our buddies. A little bit too fast for the area.
Right high, one of the bikers right after
a little too fast.
To the bump immediately loses control of his bike, not having the slightest chance to react appropriately.
Very fast. Not a lot of group, or not a lot of oh no, low sided real quick. Oh shoot! Did he hit the? Lost traction on that rear tire. He almost hit the pole. Yeah, there's just not enough room for anybody. Not enough room for anybody. Lost traction. Yep.
Oh, stop.
I'm hoping that's an electric fence and not a barbed wire fence. It looked like electric because it tore.
Ça va? Ça va?
This is where you rescue another rider just in case. Once if he's bleeding, right? That thing is destroyed. Watch your fingers. Hot parts.
1, 2, 3.
Alright, check the bike, see if it can run, and if there's no damage, take it home. Alright, we're going to talk real quick about this. Now, this is going to be a group ride issue. Okay, so we're riding around. Look at the road. Okay, we don't have a lot of space cushions left and right. We don't have a lot of escape routes. And we're kind of just going from point A to point B as quick as possible, racing our buddies. It's almost like we're on BMX bikes, just hauling ass from one friend's house to the next. Okay, it's not good for motorcycles when we're going 102 kilometers per hour, okay?
As the speed was
in a neighborhood.
one of the bikers right after riding onto the bar.
So we're passing each other. We're just kind of not really having any type of structure at all when it comes to this. And that right there lets you know what kind of group ride we're in. If you've witnessed this, if you're part of this and people are passing everybody on these small things, sit in the back, get your rescue kit ready, and hopefully nobody crashes. So right here, we're going to do this. That's when that rear tire slips. It's going to grab. And right here, it's like, what do? You got to find that escape path. You're going to crash. Okay, you got to find that escape path. The only reason why he did crash is because it looks like there's probably a little ditch and a little divot in there. And then that's a no bueno. But what you want to miss is the big pole and the little poles. You want to aim for that little gap. And it looks like that's what he does. But then he does hit right here, I believe, the pole. Okay, we're going to watch real quick on this side. Thankfully, he's able to walk out of it. He's doing pretty good. But now here's the thing. So we're going to talk about that rear tire slippage. Now, why did that rear tire slip? Going in the middle of a turn, leaning really hard, losing traction because we're accelerating through the turn and turning hard. We only have so much traction for that rear tire. It slips, and once it slips, it grabbed real quick, stood him up, and he lost maneuverability, lost everything you could possibly do, went wide. Now, this is something you don't want to do on a group ride, especially on a road like this, where that's a very common thing. I'd be very careful with that. We're passing everybody. This is going to be the rider that crashes. Look how close he almost hit him. And there's the slippage. There's that rear tire slip. So we're slipping, and it jumps us up. And it's like not a big deal if we're riding straight, but we're in the middle of a turn, so it's going to launch him to the right. And now we're kind of screwed. Okay? We're kind of screwed. There's nothing. We didn't have time to even do progressive brake pressure on asphalt. And so there we're going to fall down and hit, and we took out a pole. There was a pole there. You can see the pole really right there, and took out the pole. Thankfully, he wasn't impaled. Thankfully, the pole broke. But I'm telling you right now, that bigger one, he would have been wrapped around it. So this is a very lucky situation. Cornering mistake. Failure to negotiate a curve is one of the biggest things that kills motorcyclists. So what is it that we're doing here in this situation? We're going too fast for ourselves? Possibly. Lost traction? Possibly. Or not possibly. That's what happened. Is the rear tire damaged? Possibly. Did we accelerate in the middle of a turn that caused the rear tire slippage to lose traction? Possibly. Are we having ego dictate whether we're going to push the bikes to the limits, push our skills to the limits, push everything to the limits? Possibly. So all these different factors are being played into it. So if we could just ride our own ride, if we can just ride without ego, if we don't push things to the limits, if we don't push our skills to the limits, we won't crash like this. I think the only thing that could possibly happen without any of those things is maybe some rear tire slippage because there's a road hazard. So remove as many factors as possible. Remove as many factors as possible from your crash close call stats. All right? You got very lucky. If somebody crashes, like this person, you want to check them out. You want to rescue them. See if there's any injuries. See if they're breathing. See if there's any major blood loss. And if there isn't, good. If there is, hopefully you know what to do. A very lucky situation.
Ja, ziet daar niets. Ça va? Attends, on a vu ça.
All right, here we go. Moving through here. My first time riding the back of the Dragon, and I have a close call with an idiot in my lane. Okay, here we go. Lots of turns in a very short amount of miles on the Dragon. He's doing comfortably.
Jesus Christ!
Good job with braking. Good job with braking. Very scary. Check your pantalones on that one. But he did a good job with progressive brake pressure. Probably because the ABS kicked in. Doesn't matter. That's why I love ABS. It pretty much helps you out with your progressive brake pressure. But what we typically see with this stuff, where somebody's like, gee, they panic brake, right? When you panic brake, you lose traction on that front tire. So he witnessed something that was uncommon in a common situation. He wasn't hauling ass. He was able to stop in time because his perception, reaction, braking distance was very good because of the low speed he was doing. And he witnessed something with situation awareness way ahead of time, so he was able to do something about it. That right there is what saved his life. So he did a good job. This is a smart rider right here. So right here, he perceived he's about to say something, so that's the moment we start doing the reaction, right? This is the braking distance he has. He witnesses somebody in his lane. He's going to get off to the side, position himself for safety off to the right, so it allows him to get more room to get out of there.
Christ!
Thankfully, this driver, though, swerved last second, right? So you could do everything possible. You can be situationally aware, apply the brakes. You can't swerve. You can't do nothing. You can only brake. And this person, let's say they didn't pay attention, still hit you. What is it that we have as a smart rider? Acquire and utilize personal protective equipment. We hope our gear will protect us from having life-altering, life-ending injuries. Did a good job. Did a good job. Did a great job. All right, here we go. Moving around. I didn't see that coming. Okay, so I'm going to say side of the vehicle.
Where a cyclist without any signaling suddenly rides onto the pedestrian
Intersection.
crossing almost directly under the biker's wheels.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, intersection, orange stage. Orange stage. Good. Left turner. Nope. Oh! Dumb drivers, dumb bicycle riders. Didn't look both ways. This guy didn't look both ways. Okay, so as a smart rider, motorcycle rider, couldn't do too much here. But here's the thing, smart rider principles can be applied to bicycles. So look both ways, be situationally aware, right? This guy was not situationally aware, did not look both ways before getting into the road. Thankfully, this rider, look, he's already in the middle of a swerve, did a great job with his fundamental skills. Swerved out of the way, probably would have hit him. Good job. Did a good job. All right, so we're riding around. Loud pipes don't save lives. I was almost sideswiped by a car driver. Hey, look at that. It's loud pipes, right? Hopefully this car driver sees. What is the pattern? Big open lane in our lane, right? This lane is being blocked by that truck in front. This person probably doesn't like it, wants to get into our lane. Good job rolling off the throttle, which is going to be engine braking, allowing that person in. You did a good job. It's up to you if you want to rev bomb or honk after that. So let's talk real quick about this. Now, this is the pattern, okay? What I do like about this is loud pipes don't save lives. I agree with that. Auditory is just one way to get somebody's attention. Visual is the most common way for humans to actually get attention. So high-vis gear, but moving too, okay? Because we talk about motion-induced blindness, and motion-induced things grab your attention. If I sit still like this, you think I froze. But if I'm constantly moving, it's easy to see me, right? So movement is very important. Visual is very important. But right here, this is the pattern I want you to see. Now, it says I was almost sideswiped by a car driver. It helped us out a little bit there. Now, this is the pattern. Big open lane. We have good vision. We love it. Big open lane. We're in that lane for that reason. If you are near vehicles that could possibly get into your lane, anticipate that. Now, why would this vehicle want to? If you're this white vehicle and you're behind that truck and you saw to your right, that lane looks wide open. Wouldn't you want to get into that lane? Yes, you would. That's why we're in this lane. We switch to the most comfortable lane. We switch to the lane that's wide open. So if we're riding, when we talk about motion-induced blindness, we talk about unintentional blindness, we talk about how we're invisible, right? So if we know that and we see this pattern right here, we see this vehicle, we're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. They're stuck behind this truck. They're stuck behind this truck. We have an open lane. We have an open lane. Right here, we should start thinking to ourselves, and I want to see you guys write it in the comments if you do this already, because we do talk about this in the Smart Rider ebook. Right here, this pattern is going to let you know, that person might switch into my lane. I got to be pretty careful. I got to be kind of careful. I'm either going to get next to them in their blind spot and get out, or I'm just going to sit here and wait for them to do this. I want to know what you guys think, because I've sat right here before, and I've seen they're going to get into my lane right here. And boom, they do. And sometimes I even let them in on purpose because I know they're going to do it anyways. I'd rather them do it in front of me versus when I'm next to them. So be very careful about this pattern right here because we're boxed in. You can't swerve to the right. You can't swerve to the left. You can only accelerate, decelerate in this situation. Planning your ride position for safety. You need to have a good space cushion, good vision. We got that right now, but our escapes are terrible. So I'm like, I'm going to let them in. Last second, they're going to indicate. Now, right here, what this person's doing is rolling off the throttle and then rev bombing. So rolling off the throttle, he's pulling in the clutch, and then he's rev bombing. Okay, so what you should be doing here is just roll up the throttle, apply a little bit of progressive brake pressure if you need to, but then just maintain your speed and allow them to get in front. Position yourself for safety again for this new situation. Here we go. So we're riding over here.
Driver's in a hurry and decides to bend the rules a bit by blocking the other road users, additionally testing the rider's patience.
Okay. Hey, that happens. That happens. Non-issue. Non-issue. It blocks your vision, whatever. Okay, so he wasn't supposed to do that.
Open.
Okay, that makes sense. That would be annoying. I wouldn't be next to him, though. Law of gross tonnage, you're in the wrong lane, too, now. So in that situation, you just let them in. Don't fight for that position, okay? We're not going to talk too much about this one. Just let them in. You're behind the truck now. Because look at, we could be sandwiched. He could just hit us real quick if he wanted to. You don't know if they won't. And we're doing it again. Okay? Impatience. Impatience will get us hurt. We're on a motorcycle. We're having a better day anyways. Alright? Here we go. Moving on. Road rage driver tries to hit me. Okay, we're doing wheelies. What is it that we're wanting to do here? You know, very high risk, very low reward. I do not recommend this. We got a stoplight right here. We're going to go down. Whoa. See, that right there encourages Agent U1.
On camera.
It doesn't matter if you're on camera. It encourages road rage when you do stuff like that. Agent U1, thanks for all the hard work preparing these live sessions and other training videos for us. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $99.99 from the Czar. Appreciate it. We do have the ebook available right now. Check it out. Use code SMARTRIDER. First 500 people will get 15% off. All right. So it encourages terrible driving from other riders and drivers because of what you're doing. Just take it to a parking lot. Take it to an area that's closed off. It pisses people off, and people are in Jeeps. People are in trucks. People are going to call 911. People are going to pass laws. Now, you don't think it affects anybody else, but look, you almost got your buddy almost hit.
You're on camera.
It doesn't matter if you're on camera. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're on camera. None of it ever matters. So we're riding the wrong side of the road. We're causing issues. We're going to get in front of them. It's like hoping they would hit us. And here's the thing. He's like, you're on camera. I'm gonna, do what with the camera? Are you going to give this footage to the police to get him in trouble? Because look at all the illegal stuff you're doing. No, the only thing he's gonna do is post this on Motostars, Moto Madness, and online. And that's how he's gonna get the attention. So I don't like to encourage watching these things. I don't care too much about this, so we're gonna skip it because it's annoying. We're actually giving him that information. So the only thing that you can do in this situation is not be like this rider. Okay? Don't do this. Don't be this rider.
He's tripping.
All right, 5 a.m. in the morning. So think about it. People are tired, low visibility. It's a green light for us. Now it's yellow. Cold tires, possibly. Can't see the stuff on the road. Can't see the road surface hazards. It was a pretty slow speed low side, so it was either loss of traction because of a road surface hazard, or we hit the brakes because that yellow light kind of scared us. You know what I mean? Nick, your daughter passed her basic training today. I linked her your training playlist. Hope she watches and learns from it. Thank you so much, Nick. Possibly a wet road. Yeah, Now he has full gear, so hopefully it grabbed all the forces, or absorbed all the forces, not grabbed it, absorbed all the forces into his body so that it didn't really hurt him too much. Okay, so we're going to do a right-handed turn. Okay, remember, now look at the road. You can't see too much. You see how crazy bright everything is? Early in the morning, our eyes are still getting adjusted. Cold tires, possibly. This is probably right when he left his house. The first turn of the day, possibly. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we grabbed a little bit too much front brake. Let's see. So it was just a loss of traction, but why did we lose traction? Okay, there's not much we can see in the handlebars. Other than we just fell. Okay, so the only thing we can really get out of this is making sure that we have full gear. We can't tell what caused him to lose traction. I don't see anything in the road, but common things that will cause you to lose traction in a turn like this in an intersection is going to be road debris, bald tires, low PSI or too much PSI in your tires, cold tires, so they're not grippy in the morning, and then too much front brake in the middle of a turn. Those are typically the things that will get you on a low side in an intersection like this at 5 a.m. Okay, so what is it that we can do just in case this happens? Have protection for us. Have protection for us. No buenos. No buenos. Have full gear so that you're not getting too damaged. All right, so we're riding over here. Once again, big open lane, so I'm more concerned about merging incidents. Okay, so there's a merging incident, so we moved over. Good job adapting to that. We're going to probably move back in. Very good. Is that what the issue is going to be? Seems like a non-issue to me. It happens. Okay, we're not next to other vehicle or them, so we have our Cardo pack talk, so we can communicate with everybody, saying, "Hey, I'm in the back. I'll catch up to you guys."
For some unknown reason, one of the drivers decided to react in a nervous way, which ended quite badly for him.
Oh no. Okay. Drivers are riders in a nervous way. Whoa, whoa. Okay, okay. So that was an obvious movement to the side. Who knows? We don't know what the issue is. Now, once you see somebody do that, you see the first reaction for this rider that has the cameras to get up on him. My first reaction is, this person's unstable, move away. It's like, let's antagonize. Let's do it. Look, broken mirror, probably, right? Somebody decided to punch their mirrors. What do you think's going to happen? I wouldn't be right behind the rider or the driver. They could back up into us. Okay, move off. Look, he's going to cut this person off. He just cut that person off. He's cutting everybody off. Terrible, terrible, terrible driving. Now, looks like the mirror is down right there. So it happened probably... Let's see. Oh, look at the mirror is still good. I think that's the same driver. No. Oh, maybe that's what happened right there. I think that's a... Yep, that's a... Let's see. Yep, so there's a rider getting off to the left side. Okay, 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 okay. We're doing some investigations. Okay, so the rider right here is going to come around. Let's see. Somebody just went around. Get me out of the way, Daniel. Come on. Somebody did something. And now it's all the car driver's fault for doing that, right? Swerving into them. I don't like this. I don't like group rides that do stuff like this because you're just antagonizing everybody and it's, oh, we're the ones in danger. It's just a mirror. I just, ugh. You guys just don't do it. Don't do it and you won't have these issues. You broke their mirror and you wonder why. You wonder why people get pissed. Wonder why people get pissed. Now look at this. We're not paying attention. We're focused on this driver because we're so pissed off about it. And look what we're going to do. We got this, I think it's a Land Rover or something, coming in, going fast, right? And look what we're going to do. So we're so focused on the wrong things. We just cut in front of them. We're not focused on the things that we need to be doing. And this is a terrible group ride. This is a mob ride. Don't do this. All right, moving on with this one. Doing highway speeds, not an issue. Got sun in the eyes. Watch out. Big open lane for us. Okay, moving over. Open lane. Watch out. Watch out. Merge. Red lights. Good job. I wasn't paying attention. You weren't paying attention.
The driver
Are we just... Is this just to piss Daniel off day? We weren't paying attention. We were riding at highway speeds. We're looking in our mirrors. We weren't looking ahead. I saw it, right? I saw it. You saw it. Because what we're doing is we're looking for hazardous situations because we know that this is what's happening. We know we're watching Motostars. We know we're watching this. We know they're close calls. We know they're crashes. We know this, right? Because we're focused on the hazardous situations when these people are riding. When these people are riding, they're focused on their friends. They're focused on their mirrors. They're focused on their music. They're focused on all the fun stuff that they think they're having. But they're not focused on the hazardous situations. The fact that you guys, this classroom, is coming in and thinking we're here to look for hazardous situations. We're here to look for things that could be coming out and grabbing us. Making sure you guys are signing in by hitting that like button, okay? Make sure you do that. So here's the thing. We are focused on hazards. So when you're riding, make sure you focus on hazardous situation. You'll see the hazards if you focus on the hazards. Right here, he's looking at his mirror. He's looking at his mirror. He's got the sun in his eyes. He's not riding with the conditions present. We see the brake lights up ahead with that vehicle. We're not looking ahead. We're looking at our mirrors. That's why the camera angle is shifted. All right? We see that person in our lane already because we're looking ahead, right? Think about that. You're looking ahead, searching for these hazards, and you're finding them. I get it. Yeah, we're not in the same situation. We're not controlling the bike. We're able to focus. We're able to... But that's the thing. When you get to a point with your training that all you have to do is focus ahead and focus on the situation at hand. You're not focused on your motorcycle. You're not focused on shifting. You're not focused on throttle. You're not focused on body position because you train so much, right? You're not focused on it. It's automatic now. So now all you have to do is use your brain power to look ahead. You see these things then. You see these things. But if you are so good at your motorcycle and you don't look ahead because now you're using that extra brain power to look at your friends, to do ego stuff, to do wheelies, to do all these extracurricular things, and you never have enough time to look ahead, you're not focused on the right things. So he slammed the brakes. He's going to swerve because he has good fundamental skills, just wasn't paying attention. Gets pissed. He's able to rev bomb and smack a mirror at the same time. So there is a level of skill, right, of controlling the motorcycle. But we're pissed. Why? Because we got surprised. We're agitated because we got surprised. So when people say, well, Dan, I don't want to watch your channel because it makes me nervous and I don't like being nervous when I ride. I ride to relax. I'm telling you, you can relax and you can have the greatest time riding if you stop getting surprised. How do you stop getting surprised? By paying attention, looking ahead, scanning for hazards. When you see the hazard ahead of time, you're never surprised. Look at, we're not paying attention ahead of us. We're doing illegal lane filtering now. All right, so moving on with this
to
one.
make a U-turn in the worst place possible, but fortunately the biker had a chance to react quickly.
Good. Line turn. Whoa. Good job braking in a corner. Good job. That was really good. That was really good. One second. I got a situation. Once again. Hey, yeah. Once again. One second. Let's see. Nope. Getting issues with the I can't even speak right now. Technical difficulties. Getting some technical difficulties. Just 1 second. 1 second. Probably needed a break after that. There we go. For some reason, it's not working. There we go. Tanner, you've been here for an hour? Well, welcome. Welcome. If you want to be a member, go ahead and be a member. All right, so Nathan, you're going to have fun with that one. All right, so he did a great job. Now, remember, he got blind corners. He's not hauling ass. He's probably doing the speed limit. He's going to position himself for safety, and he has good skills. Okay, he's probably doing some trail braking. He's probably got something where he's able to break in the corner. So that's going to be one of the top emergency maneuvers you need to know.
The driver decided to make a U-turn in the worst place possible, but fortunately the biker had a chance to react quickly.
So look at him. He's already prepped and ready. He's in orange stage. He's just covering those brakes, right? So you got the sun about to come into your eyes. When you see this, you're like, oh no, sun's about to go in my eyes. Get prepped and ready for that. And you start to see cars. Bad situation. He's going to start squeezing that front brake while sitting the bike up. Okay, he's going to be in the middle of the turn. He's going to be in the middle of the turn, right? And he's looking through the turn. He has his hands on the front brake. He sees the vehicle, so he stands it up and starts squeezing. Okay, so if you do this and squeeze, you could possibly dump the bike that way. So what you do is you're turning, squeeze, and sit it up. And that's what he did. He's doing a great job with his emergency braking in a corner. Okay, see how I slowed down? You don't have to stop. And that's the thing, is you don't have to stop. You just have to slow down enough to allow the vehicle to get their space cushion in front of you. So if he was going 60, let's say he was going 60 or 70 or 80 because he's hauling ass and I'm a badass, getting my knee down and everything. I'm like Max Wrist for Moto Jitsu. We're just doing whatever we want to do, hauling ass around the corners, getting the knee down. If we're going super fast, yeah, maybe trail braking could help you. Yeah, maybe, being a professional and going through 20-something classes will help you. Yeah, maybe. But are you that person? Do you have that training? No. If you don't, go slower. Because right here, that's hard enough to do. That's hard enough to do. Here we go. We're riding around. We're right in the blind spot. Watch out. We're in the blind spot. Big open lane in front of us. Closed lane here. We got to watch out for this person. He did a good job. He adapted to the hazard, moved over, put in a better position, allowed him in, and hit the brakes a little bit. He did a good job. But we need to be a little bit more situationally aware on that. Those look like spinners. All right. So let's take a look at this. Now, we talk about this all the time. We just talked about it in today's live stream. Okay? We are in the blind spot. This is not a good area to be staying in. So if I were you, I'd move off a little bit more, or I'd move with a purpose and get in front. Okay? So right now we're doing okay. We're just kind of enjoying our ride. Now the situation has changed. This vehicle has gotten further up. This vehicle is slowing down. This vehicle witnesses this area, sees this open opportunity, cannot see you because we're in the blind spot. That is the situation. We got to watch out for that. So if we see this whole area, big open lane, opportunity to move in front of us, blind spot, can't see us. Not good. So for the road strategy that we're trying to do here, plan your ride, position yourself for safety, locate this hazardous pattern, right? Big open area, locate the hazardous pattern, adapt to that. So all we have to do is move up here so we're staggered, right? Or decelerate so we're out of the blind spot. And if we have to, navigate a threat if it comes at us. Now, lane position 1, 2, and 3. Lane position 1 would be a bad spot. That's bad for position for safety because we don't have a good escape route or space cushion. We have good line of sight. That's a good thing. So what I would do is I'd move over to lane position 3 or closer to this area if I was going to be passing this vehicle, just in case they start coming over. It allows me to escape or accelerate and have a big space cushion between me and this vehicle. Okay, you're constantly adapting for best space cushion, escape route, vision, your line of sight, okay? So watch this. He's going to move over to lane position 3. Did a great job. As soon as he sees this coming, he moves over and he decelerates. He moved over a different lane position, decelerates. He didn't fight for it. He didn't kick a door. He didn't smack a mirror. He moved over and he still has the shoulder if he needs to. But right now we're doing good because all we did was move over and apply some progressive brake pressure. Allows him in because he's going to win and then honks the horn. Now that he's out of danger, honk the horn all you want. I don't care if you rev bomb. Actually, I do care if you rev bomb because you don't have power now to your rear wheel. So just honk. Did good. Did good. Now we got to watch out for new situations. Once we go through that, watch out for new situations. Watch out for this vehicle. Watch out for the blind spot again. You see what I mean? You're constantly evaluating the new situations you're constantly in. 6 new members today, baby. Woo! All right, lane filtering. Watch out. Watch out. No escapes to left and right. Very, there you go. That's a big issue. Big open lane, right? Big open lane. Be very careful. Very careful. He did look. He saw it. He did see it. He just made a decision and then saw you. All right, right here. Moving on. Same thing. Big open lane. Stuck behind a semi. What's going to happen here? We're getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Blind spot. Okay, good. We're out of there. Good. Was the issue of the tire in the road? We also got road surface hazards. I think the tire was in the road. So let's take a look. Now, this is a scary situation. You got to watch out. Got to watch out. Oh, we're nowhere near 8,000 members. So something in the roadway. So if that vehicle on your right had to swerve left, they would have hit you. You see what I mean? So don't stay next to people, whether it's the pattern or road surface. You just don't stay next to people. You did a good job. He did a preemptive swerve. You see that? Preemptive swerve. Yeah, he could have swerved in front of you. He did a preemptive swerve to get over here just in case, because that vehicle right there on the shoulder probably dropped something out of the back. Did a good job. Did a good job. Now, the only thing he didn't do a good job on, you guys know what I'm going to say, right? You know what I'm going to say, right? Come on, get yourself a rock form mount. Get yourself a rock form mount. You don't have to deal with these little tether things. Come on. You don't have to deal with the little tether things. Get magnets and everything. Come on now. Use the link in the description for 25% off. All right, moving on with this one. Lots of orange stage right here. There are lots of different things that could be happening. People are loading, unloading. There's a big open area right there. The person wants to get in that one. Everyone's merging. They don't see you. All right.
My God.
Gotta be careful.
Done to this woman. Try to
Orange stage.
kill me.
Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you've enjoyed.
Well, I did enjoy it, Moto Madness. Thank you so, or not Moto Madness. I am sorry, Motostars. Thank you so much for being so gracious and letting me use this footage. All right. So if you are new to the class, make sure you sign in. We got a sign-in sheet right there. You get credit for today's class. If you do that, please do it. Woo. So what I like to do towards the end of class is just kind of just hang out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the dorm room. Or not the dorm room. We're going to go to the crew lounge real quick. We're going to grab the rest of the rookies that are chewing on cables, neating the crayons. And then we're going to go to my office and just have a nice little chat. Nice little chat. All right. I'm going to put my trauma kit back together because I took it apart for that first video. But follow me to the lounge. All right, guys. Rookies, hey, keep it down. I've had class this whole time. You guys have been making noise. I can hear you. All right. Guys, we're going to be going into the office. We're going to have a nice little discussion. We're going to be talking about some, whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll look up some things. And I got something. If you guys have any training videos, if you guys did any parking lot training videos, write them Or no, I'm not sorry, write them. DM me, and we'll go over your training video right now. And I'll point out some tips and things that you could possibly do to improve. But DM me, private message me on my Discord server, the Firehouse Discord server, and we'll go over it, okay? So get on Discord right now. It's absolutely free. You could DM me. We're going to go over it in class just right now. Right now. All right? Come on. Woo. All right. So start sending me, DM me on the Discord, and we'll take a look at your training, your parking lot practice. All right? All right? Where's the chat? Hey rookies, did you guys fix this? Where's the chat? Rookies? I swear. I swear. What are you guys doing? One of the rookies chewed the chat. All right, we're going to get some music going, but I'm waiting for some DMs here. I'm waiting for some DMs. Let's get the chat out. Let's see if we can make it work. I swear. I swear. I don't know where that came from. Let's get some music going. There we go. There we go. So if you guys have any training, any parking lot training, let me know. If not, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up some training while I'm doing this. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and just look at parking lot motorcycle training. Let's see if we could just find it. Oh, we got some. All right. The problem is parking lot motorcycle training. It's going to have my videos on there. So we got the 4x4s. Putting them all together. There we go. Let's see. Dutch dash cam. Is that your parking lot training, though? I want some parking lot training. Dutch. I want to get some parking lot training. Now, we have the training center and parking lot practice section of the Discord, but it looks like nobody's posted anything in a while. So if you have any parking lot training, that'd be great. Rescue Donaldo? It's Rescue Ronaldo. I contacted them, and I was actually kind of pissed. So this is Matei, this is a good story. I was like, where the heck is it? And so what happened, this was their fault, is when I ordered, they're supposed to be, they're back ordered, but you have to put in the order, obviously. So what happened was they never put in the freaking order from Simulades. Simulades is the company that makes them, and they're in the UK. So they never put in the order after I ordered it, and I followed up 3 weeks after I ordered it. I ordered it April like 27th. I followed up, said, hey, just double check, and they're like, oh, no new updates, nothing new. Yeah, okay, cool. Because they said 2 to 4 weeks. I followed up again at 5.5 weeks, and they're like, oh, we just placed the order yesterday. I'm like, or no, we just placed the order on the 9th. I messaged them on the 10th. Okay, so this was recently. This was a week ago, and they're like, we put in the order on the 9th. I was like, which month? May or June? They said June. I was like, this is unacceptable. Right? I mean, I paid $3,500, right? Unacceptable. Told them that. Told them that they basically had an interest-free loan from me for 2 months. So I made them give me 10% back. Because at the end of the day, I still need to get it. And everywhere you go, it's that back order status. So it's like, you know what? You either give me a discount or I'm taking my... Because you obviously didn't order it until now. So give me a discount or I'm taking it to elsewhere. So they gave me 10% off. They credited me 10% back, which is, you know, $350, right? So I'm hoping it's gonna be here by the end of July. So that's kind of where I was getting at, is that our training videos for the trauma training will be done by the end of July, because I'm hoping I'm gonna have the dummy to play with. But it pissed me off. Yeah, it pissed me off. Yeah, so that's the thing. Because I told him, I was like, I had to postpone my training. Right? So it pissed me off. So I packaged it all back up. Ready to go. Well, I've been wanting to record just like very basic, like how to put on a tourniquet, Samantha. Like just how to do the tourniquet thing. But I wanted it to have some B-roll of the dummy bleeding out and stuff. So I can have the training and the why. You know what I mean? So I've been waiting. But I got the stuff prepped. I have all the lesson plans and everything prepped and ready. I'm just like waiting. So if you guys want to send me a parking lot practice, if not, let's go ahead and take a look at this. All I did was type in parking lot practice, parking lot motorcycle training, and look at this. There's me at the beginning. Number 1, baby. Woo! Motorcycle training concepts. Motorcycle training concepts. Mountain moto. Hey, pretty cool. Hey, there's Moto Jitsu. There's me. There's me. Oh, there's me too. Oh, there's me too. There's me too. There's me too. There's me. There's me. There's me. I can't find any. I can't find any people just posting like they're training. I want to see like normal people post their training. Hey, look at motorcycle training concepts. Anybody have any training of them just training? Cap, I see you on the DM. If you have it on YouTube, just send me the link on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on the DM. So guys, if you're on Discord, send me a link. Send me a link to your parking lot practice as a DM, and we'll take a look at it. So we're gonna change it up. And right now we're not getting a bunch of that because nobody really posts. Nobody really posts their training. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be encouraging you to post your training. So then after class, I can just do a quick review of it. Okay. So think of it as best I possibly can, because we can't get everybody locally, right? So like the local training, I can give you tips and pointers, but we got an international crew. So it's like, if you guys have any training that you guys have been doing and you want to get some pointers, you know, some screw ups that you might have, you go a little bit wide, whatever it is, post it, and then I could do it. Let's take a look. Dutch dash cam. There you are.
extra mirrors.
All right, there we go. So I might skip around. Thank you, Dutch.
All kind of extra things. That's okay. I'm delaying.
So am I stalling the nerves? Maybe driving in front of a camera, want to show off and fall down. Who knows? Okay, I do know. And that's the tough thing. So that's why I don't want to mess around too much and say, you know, you did this wrong, did this right, did all that stuff. I'm just going to point out what I see. I don't want to make you feel any like bad or anything like that.
My mirror.
All right, let's get to the actual stuff. Thank you for posting it, by the way. All right, so nice little parking lot, little bricks and cobblestones. Watch out for traction loss, but it should be pretty easy. Right now, I can see your... Let's go ahead and get me out of the way. Well, let's just move over a little bit. Right now, I can see your knee, though. Let's go back just a little bit. Your knee is sticking out. Your knee is sticking out. That's a natural reaction. Get more of the upper body doing that. Do some counterbalancing to the other side instead. Keep those knees in a little bit. So look first. You gotta look a little bit more. I don't know where the
Don't forget, this is an Italian moped.
This is difficult. This is very difficult. You're doing really good. Is the camera on your chest or on your head?
I'm a little bit too big.
Very good. If you're not putting your feet down, you're doing real good. Very slow. Using good friction zone. Good throttle control. Where's the camera placed? Is it on your chest or on your head?
Did you see the green there?
It's on the chest. Okay, that's why it's not moving. This is very difficult. You're doing really good.
When I go a little bit too fast, I have here the alles.
You're doing everything within 2 parking spaces. That's really good. You don't have a big space cushion.
To do it here in the corner.
Good figure. You can do a figure 8. There it is. Very good. Really good tight turn.
Foot on the ground.
I notice you have on your handlebars that emergency light thing. So if something happens, you can put that down.
Nope.
Very good. So here's one thing I would recommend when you're doing this. Is you see this area right here? Let's go ahead and pause the music a little bit. You see the area right here? This could cause you to have a little bit of nerves. What I would do is not do it next to these hedges. And I know you're trying to just take the very back end, probably. What I'd be doing is I would, let's take a look.
Dangerous to do it here.
If you have this whole parking area, what I would do is I'd put the cones like you have here. I'd put the cones like you had there. And the cones right here. I would be using these parking spaces. This way you have open area over here and then open area back here. So if you went a little bit wide, you're not going to go into the hedges, and that's going to cause you to stare off at the obstruction. So give yourself a little bit of space. Give yourself just a little bit of space. But your tight turns are really good. This is your figure 8. So your figure 8s are really good, and you're able to do it within 2 parking spaces. You have good handlebar turn. Now, like I said, I was asking, is the camera on the chest or the head? Because right now it's on the chest, but I was thinking that you're just looking straight and you're turning everything. So you're just doing this, but the camera is straight. You're looking. So keep looking, keep doing that stuff. You're doing good throttle control and friction zone. I can tell because you do have the little kilometers per hour thing going on right here. Yeah, security didn't like me to be there, so that's why I was in the last 2. Okay. That's fine. You're able to handle it. So for anybody else, that will give you a little extra space. But you did good, Dutch. You got good friction zone. So you're doing good with that left hand. Good throttle control. You can hear the RPMs go up and down, up and down, but you're not going faster or slower. That's because you're able to modulate the friction zone and throttle control. If you have the RPMs too low and too much friction zone, too much clutch, you start to bog down. You start losing speed, and you start to lose some balance. So actually having that back and forth, even high RPMs, but not a lot of speed can help you out. It balances the motorcycle a little bit. Don't use the front brake on these slow speed turns, okay? So you don't want to be using front brake. Rear brake would help. body positioning would help, but overall, it's very good. You're doing very good. Look at the little amount of room you have to play with, and you're doing it. Look at this. Very, very good. Figure eights are really good.
Foot on the ground.
Probably start to feel like you're falling in. So when you start to feel like you're falling in, let's say you're doing a left-handed turn, you start to fall in this way. All that means is that you need to give a little bit more counterbalance to the other side. And it's just a balancing movement, but it happens. You do 10 really good ones, and then you start to fall in on one of them. Think about it. Could be also a little bit tired, maybe a little dizzy, but you're doing really good. Doing really good, man. Doing really good. Thank you for sending that in. Genetic. It's not your video. I want to see your video, Genetic Virus, if you have one. Sorry, I won't be able to Cap. If you can upload it to YouTube real quick. I know you say you don't have a YouTube channel, but I don't download anything. I'm not gonna download anything. Sorry about that. If you post it on your Twitter or anything like that, I could see it too. So it doesn't have to be YouTube only. It could be if you guys have a tweet, if you Twitter, the twits, that would be just as helpful. Yeah, tripod works really well. So, we do have. Would you guys like it if I maybe have a video on how to set your own video or your own parking lot practice up, so that way you can send it in? Because that would be. I would like to start reviewing some of your guys' videos. Because I don't want to review crashes all the time. Does that make sense? I don't want to review crashes all the time. So we're going to set up a new link for the submission forms. I don't want to get any more crashes or close calls, guys. I don't want to get any more crashes or close calls in the submission forms. I think I'll just use Motostars, Moto Madness, because that's what they want to do. I want to encourage parking lot practice. I want to encourage rescue training. So that could be another thing. If you guys get the kit or any type of trauma kit or any type of first aid kit and you practice like a sling and swath or you practice wound management, send that in too. Anything that we do, send it in. I want to go over it. I want to give some tips and pointers. I want to do that. The Moto Gymkhana courses. Woo-wee. How many of those 100 rescue kits are left on the pre-order? I don't know. I'd have to check. But there's still plenty left, Gator. There's still plenty left. Because remember, we get 250 coming in. We have 250 coming in, but we're only going to put 100 on pre-order. But there's still a few left. We only really we only started doing it on Tuesday. Canyon Chasers on slow look, press, and roll. No, I haven't. And if I did, I would have to watch it off stream. Is there something that was interesting that was said? Do you want people to show pics of the trauma kits? No, Kayla. Well, yeah, I want that. I want you guys to write reviews. I loved your review, Kayla. If maybe I'll make a video on what I want. Basically, what I'm thinking is any type of practice. Maybe like you practice the tourniquet, or you practice something on like a friend. You know, your wound management, bandaging. I'll think about what I want to do. I'm gonna be taking a sabbatical for the next 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be thinking of some new stuff for July. That's all rescue training. And I'll see what I want for that. So basically right now, what I want to see that we definitely can move on with is your parking lot practice. I want to see your parking lot practice. Okay. What are some great things to have in a kit? Anything bleeding control, so tourniquets, 5x9s, 4x4s, roll gauze. Those are very good to have. Very good to have. Just got your Yamaha Bolt register. Definitely going to do lots of parking lot training. I would love to submit your training. Loose Canyon, send it in, baby. Send it in. I'm going to make a new submission form for it. I'm thinking about making a very simple bag of goodies, medical supplies. It's like a training bag. So it's going to be way cheaper. It's not designed to be used on people, so it's going to have a blue tourniquet. It's going to have some non-sterile gauze and everything, and it's just going to come in like a Ziploc baggie or something, or some type of really cool bag. Not one of these. That way you can train with that. Yeah, you can practice counter steering on a bicycle. You can practice counter steering on a bicycle. Canyon Chasers talk about trail braking. Yeah, they have a good video on trail braking. No, trail braking is good. Trail braking is good. My only issue is that as a new rider, if you can't even do progressive brake pressure correctly, you're not going to be able to do trail braking correctly. Tiger, you got the first 500. Dude, I'm jealous of your 2022. I really am. Turbo Andy, thinking of starting riding and probably couldn't stay alive without all these lessons and ARs. I'm glad that you're staying alive. See, Nikki, look at the beard Nikki has. Woo, rainbow beard. I have a new one. Okay, one sec. Cat Phil, you went through everything. I'm gonna go take a look real quick. Thank you for posting that. Love the Rebel. It's a Rebel, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's a Rebel. Let me just do a quick look. You're going to do some Mercy. Oh, stopping practice. Very good. Very good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one. One second. Cap, thank you so much for sending it in. This is a great parking lot, by the way. This is a good parking lot. I love this parking lot. Look at... Nikki knows. When I drive by a parking lot that has no, like, real lights, I mean, this is a perfect amount of light spaced. Big open area, lots of parking spaces, so that it's already pre-designed. You know, and then you got hopscotch right here. So this looks like a school. This looks like a school parking lot. So schools, here's the thing, everybody. Schools on the weekends, churches during the weekdays. Right? That right there is you usually get good parking lots. How common are bad bleed injuries and MC crashes? Pretty common. Pretty common. Even if it's not bad, multiple medium ones can bleed you out pretty good. All right. So let's just say hi real quick. How you doing? Now, I always recommend full gear. Always recommend it. But the fact that you're practicing your fundamental skills is very good. Now, this is a Honda Rebel. Is it a 500? It looks like a 500. That engine looks pretty good. So he's going to be riding around. Now, this is the parking lot. So he's setting up his tripod in a good spot. Now, the goal with this is we're not trying to determine how quickly you can stop at a certain speed. We want to see the progressive brake pressure being applied. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see jamming. We don't want to see skidding. Okay? So he's going to be traveling, probably 20, 25. Very good. So right here, I want you to see this. So he's going to be traveling. It's a 300 ABS. Okay, it's a 300 ABS, so very good. So he's going to be traveling. Let's go ahead and slow it down a little bit. So wait until that front end starts to go down a little bit. That's about right here. and then watch this suspension go up. See how the suspension goes up. So let's go back just a little bit. So what I look for when I'm riding, it's kind of hard to see just because it's not zoomed in, and that's fine. You know, I don't want you guys doing any crazy editing. But you see the suspension, you can kind of see the black right here and the black right here. That little gap in between is being compressed because you're applying progressive brake pressure. So when I see that start, so when I see it start from here and then does this, that means I know you're applying progressive brake pressure. That means I know your front end's starting to dive in. That means I know you have traction on the front tire. So the moment I see that, which is typically like right here or even right here, depending on when you started the application of the brakes, that's when I know that's when you reacted. So perception, reaction, right? And then you got braking distance. I'm just giving you guys some behind the scenes of what I think about. So here's your braking distance, right? And if your goal is to stop in this square, very good, right? So you're going to see this gap right here increase when he lets go because he stopped, right? Or not lets go. It increases because he is stopped, and then the suspension goes back up. There's no weight on that front tire, or not as much anymore. So take a quick look. Right now, it's kind of a small gap, and then it increases right there. See how it increased? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for the decrease, and I know it's going to increase when he stopped. So let's go ahead and go back just a little bit. I'm just giving you guys an idea of what I look for. So this is what I want you guys to look for when it comes to your own training. So when you post this stuff up for yourself, you see when it went down, when it increased again, and how much of an increase and decrease did it happen, because you also don't want to have too much of that dampening. That's a whole suspension thing. So it's decreased, increased. So good job on the braking. You notice how there was no sliding. You noticed how you didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? You didn't skid. Downshifted, you didn't stalled or anything. So one thing I want you to do when it comes to this, and it's probably going to happen later, I don't know, we're going to watch the whole thing, is you see how your head and eyes are looking straight? Now, when you stop, I know you're looking to see if you're in the box. I want you to keep your head and eyes straight and use your peripheral to see down. So right now, you're probably sitting, let's say you're sitting or standing, it doesn't matter. And you put your hands kind of like a little bit out in front of you. I'm looking at you guys right now. I'm looking at you guys. And I'm just putting my hands out and kind of in front of me a little bit. Right? I can see my hands, but I'm staring forward. I can see my hands. I can see the little phalanges moving around. I want you guys to treat that with the motorcycle. I want you to look forward, and I want you to find this square with your peripheral. Because this square is going to be, let's say this is the line for the sidewalk, right? And this is, you're coming to a stop, here's the lights, right? Here's all the stuff. That looks stupid. And so you're coming to a stop, and you're coming to a stop. I don't want you looking down here. I want you to be looking forward and stop before the sidewalk. So also notice left foot down to keep the rear brake covered. Yeah. So he's shifting, I believe. I think he's shifting down. So you see how you're looking down? So I want you to look forward. Overall, this is good. Because towards the end, when you get that front weight, you're able to squeeze almost a lot. I bet you felt that, right? You felt you could squeeze a ton at the end, and it wasn't moving anywhere. So that right there is progressive brake pressure. So now the only thing I think that you could work on is to look forward. And I know we're practicing, so you want to make sure that you're in the box. But now, for the next thing, is see if you can make it in that box, only looking forward. Because you already got the hand movement, you got the friction zone, or not friction zone, you got the downshifting, you got the progressive brake pressure down, you got the head and body movement correct. Now you just got to look forward. See how we're looking right away before we even have the suspension coming back up? We want to double check. So let's take a quick look at the stopping. Very good. See that last part, everyone's probably thinking like, oh, he skidded at the end. No, that last part, Caleb, exactly, that'll be the next one. The next part, I'm sorry, that last part, let me see. The last part is when you you feel that weight transfer that front tire, and then you're able to squeeze that last 100%, right? And then it stops you. It's gonna grab. But if you're going this fast and you grab 100% right now, you're gonna dump the bike. So from here to here, you're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then right at the end, boom, you're able to do it because you loaded that front tire. But if you don't load it and you do it right now, you're gonna flip up. And this is what happens in a panic brake, is that people, they apply 100% like right here because the car stops right here and they weren't paying attention. But this whole time up to here, you're obviously paying attention because you're in practice mode. But I want you to have that paying attention mode, the situational awareness, yellow stage, when you're riding. So we're practicing like we play. We don't want to be surprised and do 100% here if we didn't do anything. We want 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You see what I mean? So that's why we're practicing this. So you brake, 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 brake. There it is. So watch it dive down a little bit. I'm going to do 75% speed. So I'm going to say he started braking here. There it is. So let's do 100% speed so you can see it. So the moment right here is when he starts the brake. So you see the front end dive down a little bit. There it is. And it uncompresses. So yeah, the next thing, Caleb, look forward. I missed the box on the third one. Got to keep practicing. Okay, so we got a third one. That's fine. The one thing that you could do to maximize your training time, if you have this over here, this whole situation, this is your braking spot, right? So that's your braking spot. Let's say you start braking right here. On this side, set up a swerving station. Set up a swerving station. So you do your braking, cool, you did your braking. Practice your U-turn here, and then let's say these are two cones. You're like, okay, boom, 20 miles an hour, swerve, get back in your spot, practice U-turn, brake. And you just do that in a big circle. That way you maximize your emergency maneuver time. You know what I mean? Because you're not stopping with the swerve. You're stopping with the stop. So you're able to just... Because you got the parking lot to do it, dude. You got an amazing parking lot. You can set up a course. So you missed the box on this one, right? And that's fine. That's fine. Because some people are like, "Oh man, I missed it," and then you slam the brakes, and then you're toast. Good job, Caleb. Thank you for sending this in. Thank you for sending this in. I like this. You're wearing a Subaru jacket though, or a shirt. Oh yeah.
Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad.
No, you got 3 out of 3, man. Don't feel bad about that one. You did good. You did real good. No, I like this. I had fun doing that. You guys want to see more of that? Obviously, I'll get better at how I explain it, and I'll get better at what I say and do. I mean, it's just like the situation awareness and everything. You know, the videos that we've been doing for over a year and a half, 2 years actually. Actually, it's been like 2.5 years. We're gonna possibly get into some of these parking lot practice trainings, and I would love to do more of those. Agent U1, you will? Hanford, you like this? All right, so this weekend, I'm gonna have the team come up with a Google form, and we're going to encourage you to send in your parking lot practice just like this. And at the end of streams, when we go into my office, we'll have a little viewing session. And we will start posting these also. I think this is a good encouragement. I want to get you guys a training diagram. I want to get you guys a training program. That way you have something to work with, and you don't have to have a parking lot that big. Caleb's just extremely lucky. It's an amazing parking lot. I really wish I had that parking lot, man. Oh my gosh. If I could talk to the owners, if there's a parking lot like that, and I could talk to the owners and be like, hey, let me, once a week on the weekends, we won't damage anything. Here's a waiver, blah, blah, blah. Oof. Caleb, you had a good spot, man. Good spot. No, yeah. So Fex, I'm still gonna do the crashes. So during class, we're gonna do the crash stuff, and then at the end of class, we're gonna do this. So it's still class. We're just gonna go into we're just gonna go and hey, we could stay in the classroom, right? You know what I mean? But that way, because I start off class with a Motostars or a Moto Madness or whatever video, I have it beforehand, but maybe have like 3 or 4 or 5 parking lot practices also lined up so that you know we can go into that right after. I think it would be a segment as nicely as one part DDF and one part empty. Yeah, exactly. And I'm thinking of posting this. Here's the thing, Samantha, is I thought about this a little while ago, and we do the stream live, and I get better and better and better at it, right? I post and this is the thing, everybody. If you send it in and you get viewed on the live stream, we'll post your video and that training that we just talked about on MTC. And then on MTC also, I'll post when I do the training so you know exactly what it is that we're talking about and what I'm trying to show you. But it could be its own video series on MTC. Because it's one thing when it comes to students in person is that students will learn from the instructor talking about it. They'll learn from the instructor doing it. And then they learn from watching others at their own peer level, their own skill level doing it. And then they hear the instructor talking to that student and giving tips on that. And it allows the student that's not being talked to overhear it and then be in a position to not be nervous. And it's like, it's not me being talked to, but I can still get the information. It allows them to learn it. And that is something that was actually taught during the MSF rider coach trainings. And it's the adult learning principles. It's just, you're able to hit 5 different learning modalities, and you're able to get that. So if we can make it in a way to where your training and me giving you tips helps somebody else, that is huge. That is huge. And that's what we're doing with the AAR. So I was like trying to figure out how could I do like an AAR with parking lot training and still hit that same thing. Oh, so Rana says there's a translation from earlier in the video when we were watching the stuff. What he said is the driver suddenly changed the range of the flyover due to which the rider just bashed into the van. Okay. So he went into, he merged into him, probably. Thank you for the translation. Appreciate it. Are you talking about the video at the very beginning of class? The draft. Hey, no problem, draft. Send me a link. We're gonna get a new Google form. Dr. Code Monkeys, what I miss? It would be cool to do crash close call, then cut to someone doing the training that would avoid the crash. Yeah, Dr. Code Monkey, and that's the cool thing about the editing. So when we do the live streams, there's only so much I can do with the live streams, but with our team, with our editors, is that when we're doing the crash stuff, we're able to edit in. Here's the video that you should watch, and that's what we do all the time on the videos. So we're gonna have another video come out today at 3 p.m. So there's always a video out at 3 p.m. or a live stream. You'll always have a video that will do that. I now have the habit to watch the video from you each time I go for a ride. Makes your ride safer. What you're doing is great. Hey, Jules, thank you so much. Craig from Down Under. Your instructor didn't even teach you counter steering. What? Ajamain, hopefully I said that right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, during the we have a video go up every single day on this channel. We live stream let's go ahead and put some music on. We live stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Today we just had a fun one, you know, a little bit early, having a little fun. And then yeah, I mean that's what we do. So every single day. Every single day. We got it. Ajrana. We got it. He might be at the beginning of the video. Yeah. Yeah, you probably can't hear us. He's probably at the beginning of the video. Hit that live button. So like on the bottom left, it says live, if it's grayed out, click it and then it'll take you to live. I'm glad you like the content. I'm glad. There we go. Thank you, Aj. I appreciate it. I'm thinking about that, Samantha. That was a really good FTR blog. It was a really good FTR blog. I'm thinking about it. It's really hard to set the system up. You know? Thank you so much, man. Take Nikki out to lunch on you. Hey, I appreciate that, Brian. Appreciate that with the 25. Holy crap. Whew. Amazing. Yeah, I might do some guest blogs. You know, get some guest blogs in there. Obviously give you credit. You know, all that stuff. You know, you're the author and everything. Oh, somebody just got something. Michael, what'd you get from the store? Brian. Appreciate it. What'd you get? Woo-wee. Smart Writer. He got the Smart Writer Basic Training ebook, baby. Michael from Massachusetts. Thank you so much for getting the book. Yeah. Letitia, your shirt just shipped. Shinzi, no, I did not see the video yet. I might take a look at it. Not on stream, but you're saying that Canyon Chasers wants to throw out slow look, press, and roll in favor of learning proper trail breaking sooner. Now, I do agree with learning how to do proper trail breaking sooner rather than later, because it is a skill that could be taught. The problem is you're trying to merge, and this is where you start getting into the expert's bias and the teacher bias, is that, let me go ahead and explain a little bit of that, is somebody that knows how to do something forgets how they got there sometimes and forgets what the learning process was to get to where they are at that point. So then they assume that is the best thing and that is the thing you should do, and that is everyone should do that as the expert. So I have a feeling some of that's kind of creeping in, because as somebody that learned trail breaking, as somebody, and then definitely Canyon Chasers as an expert, you start to think, you know, I do this all the time. It's better than slow look, press, and roll. It's way better. It makes sense in so many different ways to me. Trail breaking should be it. That is what you should do. Trail breaking. Slow look, press, and roll is not as good as trail breaking. Therefore, trail breaking should be the thing. And trail breaking seems to be the thing that every expert wants to drive into a beginner, like right away, because it's that good. It really is that good. Really good. The problem then is you have to put yourself in the beginner's shoes, and now the beginner that has no clue how to ride a bike, no clue how to ride a motorcycle, how are they going to learn how to appropriately navigate a corner? You have to break it down into an acronym like MSF. You have to break it down to where slow before the turn, look where you want to go, right? Press to initiate counter steering, roll on the throttle. It's a 4-step process a beginner can handle. That right there is something a beginner can do. It is something that me, comes naturally, completely naturally at this point. Trail braking comes almost naturally at this point now. I still have to practice it. It's a difficult skill to master. But how is a beginner that, and this is what I'm trying to get at, is how is a beginner that can barely do friction zone, has terrible shifting skills, but can do it, right? Throttle control isn't on point yet. And now for trail braking, you have to apply progressive brake pressure in the middle of a turn while maintaining throttle pressure, but it has to be just enough front brake pressure to just load the front tire, not enough to slow you down while navigating the turn. As a beginner, you see what I mean? It's a very complex skill that is dependent on foundational skills and fundamental skills that is really good. But it's a complex skill that is dependent on the foundational skills that a beginner is still learning. So I agree with getting it out there sooner for a beginner. I think it's a skill that is very important, but I don't think it's a beginner skill. I think the awareness part of it, hey, here's slow look, press and roll, and this is how I would approach it, because I don't like to criticize other people and I don't like to say things and not come up with a solution myself. I've thought of this before. My solution to this is let's learn slow look, press and roll as beginners, because that is all they're going to be able to know. When you leave the MSF BRC1 with slow look, press and roll, and you're still not the best corner taker, right? So you still have to master it. So let's get slow look, press and roll out there. Let's do that, beginners. But when we're doing slow look, press and roll and the class is finished, we have to be able to give, here's your continuing education. Here are your next steps. These are the things you should strive to learn. This is how you're going to learn them. This is how you're going to take these next skills. And with that extra continuing education, it should be, here's trail braking. Here's a body positioning in the corner. Here's how you practice your parking lot skills. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do this. And there's a pamphlet. There's a booklet. Here's another training class that this is where everything is. Because there has to be that next step. But to say, hey, we're going to teach trail braking to beginners because that's a skill they need to learn, they still don't know the slow press and roll very well. And once again, I'm not having the best solution, but the concept and the thoughts and the discussion needs to happen. So I like that there's somebody with an opinion that's sticking to their opinion. That's good. But I'm sticking to mine too. You have to come from a position of a beginner's mind does not have the same experiences or knowledge as the instructor, and everyone is different. And the MSF, when they say slowly press and roll, they're trying to hit the basics, the bare minimum. So you have to think, why is MSF just doing the bare minimum? It's because they're trying to do and trying to give the information out and trying to teach what is needed only. What is needed only. Yeah, Brian, exactly. You know, it's the basic problem with this video is the trail braking, an absolute beginner, and watching them grab a fistful of brake during a turn. It's very hard to teach a beginner just how to do progressive brake pressure. But now we're going to try to teach them progressive brake pressure with throttle management in the turn. It's very difficult. Some beginners can do it. I'm not saying no beginner can. I'm saying some can. But the vast majority, you're gonna exercise, like, let's say exercise 4 is braking, exercise 5 is like throttle management and turning, and exercise 7 is, okay, now we're gonna combine everything. And like, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to All right, Craig, you get out of here and take that doggo for a walko. Follow up, what point should a beginner transition to trail breaking from slow look, press, and roll? I feel like when that transition is very dependent on the rider themselves. The transition is only decided by the rider. But I feel it's a good question. It's definitely, I mean, that's why they teach it in the ARC. Yeah, rain and gravel, Samantha, would be good. The problem, and I'm gonna try. This is why I like having these conversations. I got to get going pretty soon, by the way, everybody. So I just want to say thank you for sticking around. The problem that I was having, Samantha, also is feature creep. So feature creep, if anybody doesn't know, it's basically you're just continuously working on a project and you want to keep adding more and more features to the point where you never really finish the project. So you're constantly editing something, you add something here, you're like, oh, this is a good idea, let's add this, and you constantly editing, you're constantly doing this, you never finish the thing, and that's usually what happens with somebody that wants to be perfect at what they do. And Alan M just said, thanks for all you do. Woo! Called it out. No, it's the feature creep when it comes to me is with the Smart Rider principles, I want to do everything. And it's like I want to have the beginner, intermediate, and advanced of everything. And so when I see, like the full throttle thing, and then I see, other people, it's like we should have this, we should have that, we should have this, and it's like, well, who is our target? Who's the target audience? Who's the people that we're supposed to be trying to help? And when I hear myself think of, I want to have a beginner, intermediate, advanced, let's say rescue training. Am I trying to train EMTs? Am I trying to train people that are like going on rescue teams? Am I trying to train people that are going to go into the EMS field? Am I trying to train people that, who am I trying to train? And so it's like, okay, what is it that I truly want to do? I want there to be a rider that if they witness any type of traumatic event at home or out on the road, to be able to have the wherewithal to feel accomplished in helping. It's as simple as that. Because when let's say your kid falls down the stairs and breaks their arm and you're freaking out, you feel like you couldn't do anything. You always hear people say, I wish I knew this, I wish I knew that. So if your kid falls down the stairs and they broke their arm, if you had basic training, you know how to splint that. You know how to handle that situation, and you're able to remain calm. That's why on rescue it's remain calm. I want you to be able to remain calm. So in a car crash or in a motorcycle accident, I want you to be able to remain calm, ensure your own safety. That's the point of that. And that's who I want to be able to handle. That's the type of person I'm trying to teach. I'm not trying to teach somebody how to do a chest seal or a thoracotomy or how to do a tracheotomy. I don't even know how to do that. How to insert an MPA, how to insert an OPA. I'm not trying to train somebody to do a full assessment. I'm not trying to train somebody to do a focus assessment, do a sample history, to check for alert, verbal, painful, unresponsive, to do a Glasgow coma scale. I'm not having people do these massive skills because, from my point of view, it's pretty easy, right? I could do it, so anybody could do it. That's usually what the problem happens. If I can do it, everybody can do it. But that's not the case. I got 11 years of fire and EMS experience. So if I'm wanting somebody off, if I want my wife, if I want my kids to learn how to handle an emergency situation, what experience do they have? That's usually kind of how I go. As a parent, I learn so much. So if I can teach my kids to splint something or bandage something, anybody can do it then. So what level of teaching do I have to give a family member that has no experience? Because that person is going to be just like the rider they have no experience on. So when it comes to, and I'm getting to the point here, when it gets to who's learning to ride a motorcycle, who's learning to buy gear, who's learning situational awareness, who's learning how to rescue another rider, who's learning how to teach and mentor another rider or other people, that person is on the basic level. I have to teach at the very basic level, the basic. And that right there is all I want to do. I don't want to be the person that teaches advanced trainings. I don't want to be the person that teaches, and that's advanced trainings in situational awareness, advanced trainings in fundamental skills, advanced training in how to pick out and buy, sell, and all these different things for gear and motorcycles, advanced training for rescue another rider, advanced training on how to be a teacher or mentor. Not yet, anyways. I want to, Marcus, welcome, baby. Woo! Welcome to the crew. I want to just teach the basics. And in order to do that, you have to meet them where they're at. And I have a feeling that a lot of instructors, especially ones that have a lot of experience, they teach these advanced classes, then assume that everybody should know these advanced classes and everybody should know these advanced things. And that's when you start to lose that beginner's mind. As a good instructor needs to keep that beginner's mind, because if you're trying to teach a beginner's advanced things, there's a disconnect. If you try to teach an advanced thing to somebody that has beginner skills and is willing to learn advanced things, that's your audience. That's who you're trying to teach. I want to teach the basics because I'm reaching the brand new rider, the brand new person, the brand new with no experience, because who are the people that get injured? Who are the people that crash? Who are the people that die? Who are the people that are constantly getting hurt while riding a motorcycle? Is it the advanced riders or is it the beginners? So for me, my mission and my purpose is to keep people safe. A lot of these other people's purposes are to advance the skills of the rider. George, welcome. Welcome to the crew. So canyon chasers, what they want to do is advance the skills of a rider. And I'm sure that their goal is to reduce injuries too. Yeah. But they want to advance the skills. I'm narrowing it even further down and saying I want to prevent crashes for everybody. So my focus is that beginner. And it's only the beginner. And I'm only going to teach what is needed because I know as a teacher, I can't teach what I want. I have to teach what that student needs. What I want is them to learn trail braking. What I want is every rider to be a smart rider and have every single spot in that principle. Situation awareness complete. Fundamental skills complete. I want you to maintain it. I want you to have a good, I want you to have gear. I want you to know how to buy gear. I want you to acquire it. I want you to make sure you take care of it. I want you every 5 years change out your helmet. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to rescue another rider. I want you to have all the medical training that I have. I want you to be able to save somebody's life and do extra stuff. I want you to be able to teach and mentor other people. So that's what I want. But what is it that you guys need to stay alive? And right now, it's the awareness that there are the smart rider principles, that it's this well-rounded rider of everything, right? And all we have to do is just work from the bottom and keep working. And I'm telling you right now, when I do Brian, when I do those polls, I think it's like 40%. It's like 40% of the people that watch this channel don't even ride. And then like another 40 to 50% less than 1 year riding. That leaves like 10% people with 2 years or more. So it's like I know my audience, and I know the people that I'm talking to, and it's like if I'm telling people that have never ridden a motorcycle before, you should do trail braking, they're like, what? So I've put a lot of thought. I've put a lot of thought into who I'm talking to, what I should be teaching, what it is I want. What I want is up here, and what I expect is up here. What is needed is right here. This is what I'm teaching. I'm not teaching this. I'm not teaching this. I have so much more information I wish I could share with you. But half of that information I want to share with you, it's going to go over your head. And the other half, I don't know how to teach it yet. I don't know how to express it in a way that you can learn it. And that stuff that I don't know how to express it and teach it so that you can learn it is what I'm working on to help with that, help you become better riders. So that's my job right there. And then I'm trying to get you guys at least what you need. Marcus, been riding for years. It's my son's Brandon who turned me onto you, Dan. He just got his license and we're waiting for his first bike to be received from out of state. Woo! I'm glad. I don't know. I love having these little chats. That was a deep dive into my brain. That was a deep dive in my brain. And that's the thing is like when I hear that from Canyon Chasers, Brian, that was really good. And like whoever keeps bringing it up, it was really good to hear that because it's a conversation that inspires more communication and debate on the subject, and it allows people to think about what it is they're trying to do, right? Is this better? Is this better? So it makes me drive my focus into what I need to do. It's a great conversation. Thanks for bringing that up. Alan, you had an accident and I gave you confidence. Hey, I'm glad. Andrew, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not that cool, guys. I'm not that cool. Just wanted to share. Oh, okay. So Tiger brought it up. Well, thanks, Tiger. Exactly. Fresh mind. It's good. No, it was. Those are all good videos. I love hearing other people's perspective. I just kind of gave mine, you know? Not a single injury. Good. And that's the thing is that things will flip on and you'll get it going, you know? Should wear a hoodie? What? What are you talking about? You weirdos. Yeah, layer down nonsense means that you didn't have the training to keep it up. That's what that means. How much would you spend on a helmet? Minimum 200. We do have the Voss helmets. They're ECE rated. Link in the description. You actually get 10% off with that link. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. There you go. About to leave. About to leave, Kayla. I gotta go. I gotta do some errands. Gotta do some errands real quick. Woo-wee. Beautiful bike, Tiger. Beautiful bike. It doesn't work for the black version, Marcus? If you click this link first and then try to do it, try clicking that link first. It still doesn't do it? Maybe there's no discounts on the black version. It's weird. They change it up on me every so often. Yes. Samantha, I'll at least get that started today. Sorry about that. But yeah, with that though, I gotta get going. I gotta get going. I gotta go pick up the rental. I gotta go do that. All right, guys. Hope you had a great time. I had a great time. Make sure you guys go to the Discord. The Discord is absolutely free. I'll be seeing you guys in a while. It's gonna be a while. Hey, who messed up the chat? Somebody hit the refresh on that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Here's the there's Tiger's FTR, baby. Woo! Discord is absolutely free. Join the Discord. Look at that thing. Yeah, Brian, thank you for the lunch. We're going to enjoy it. Probably going to get some good Chick-fil-A, honestly. Chick-fil-A sounds good. You should get the luggage rack, Tiger, on the back. The I love mine. I absolutely love mine. Get some frame sliders from R&G also. Those are good. There's a lot of crash protection from R&G. You don't like the look of the top luggage? Ah, whatever. Whatever. All right. Yeah, all right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.